And here we are. Now I think I'm doing pretty good.
All right. Well, you sound great. It's good to have you back. We've got a
What
lot
did
to
I
get
miss?
to.
I hear everything's happening.
Well, there's some stuff. There's some stuff. You know, I always say, like, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, there's some stuff. We got a lot to get to. We'll get into Brian Cashman not running it back. We're not running it back. We'll get into the Yankee stuff, Eli Manning conversation as well. Your calls at 800-919-3776. Andre Palat, that's a pretty good player, Donnie.
All 2 points.
Instant impact.
Instant
Goal,
impact.
assists. Islanders get a 5-2 win over the Rangers. They'll play again tonight. That's why we're a 6:30 vehicle, everybody, so keep that in mind. So lots of things to get to, but the reason why I'm saying smoke and fire is that this thing with Giannis has been smoldering, right, since the summer. And I have said all along, the right deal, the best deal is in the summer. It's hard to do a deal for Giannis in season. The Bucks know this. John Horst he's the GM of the Bucks, and I can tell you he's telling teams that there is a deal to be made because they're finally realizing that Giannis doesn't want to be there. He won't say it publicly, but they know. And they're seeing what kind of market can we get for him right now if teams start getting crazy. But he even knows the better deal is probably in the summer, maybe even on draft night, because there's more to get when it comes to draft picks. You know where teams are picking, and then there's more future picks that you can get once you get to that point. So that's why I've held firm on that. But, fellas, sounds like something could happen. A week from today is the trade deadline, and it's starting to get a little hot and heavy. And now the smoke is it's no longer smoldering. Now there's smoke, which tells me there's a fire.
And I totally buy it, and there's that sense of urgency. There's that sense of panic that, in my opinion, the Knicks should not be a part of. The Knicks are in the catbird seat. They've been from the very beginning. I know Knicks fans aren't used to that. Knicks fans are used to having to bend over backwards to please everybody. Nobody wanted to come play for your team. You're always the one that's desperate. He wants to play for the Knicks. He's all but said it. And the reason he won't say it is he doesn't want to be a bad guy. Guess what? He's being a bad guy anyway. He's booing the fans. He's really acted like a tool through this whole thing because he's trying so desperately not to be that guy that he's now firmly that guy. And I would call his bluff if I'm the Knicks. Hey, we're here. We'd love to have you, but it's going to be on our terms. We're not disrupting our season. We've just won 4 in a row. We believe we've got a team good enough to challenge in the East and get to a final. We'd love to have you, but we're going to have you during the summer. So if you want to go play your reindeer games in Golden State or play your reindeer games in Miami because you're so impatient and you can't wait, well, then that's on you. But if you really want to be a Knick, we'll see you in the summer.
Well, that guy Thursday's coming up later in the show. Maybe we'll come back to that. But Peter, do you agree with Don? Like, are you kind of getting sick of this reindeer game thing? Because everybody has been whispering this, and by the way, this has been whispered for more than a year. Like, I've been hearing this for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, from different people. Like, hey, he wants to be in New York. He wants to play there. And I'm always like, well, I don't know how they're going to get him. And now it's like, okay, well, it's a real thing. The Knicks have to be feeling. If I'm in that front office, I know I'm feeling the pressure. If I know Minnesota is trying to make something happen, and Golden State, is always desperate to try to get one more ring with Steph Curry. Miami's trying to be relevant again. You never know what Pat Riley's going to do. So I'm feeling pressure of, well, I would rather wait for the summer, but I can't afford to let this guy go somewhere else, and now I no longer have a chance to get him. So they're in a tough spot, but are you feeling like Don?
Do you remember the other day, Alan? I think Don was not with us at that moment. And I told you I was like sort of starting to get like close to, and I know this is insane because I have said many times, even though Giannis Antetokounmpo is not my favorite basketball player to watch, I believe he is the most instant impact player as far as making a team a contender as exists in basketball. Like, to me, he is number one in that regard.
Him, Jokic, right? Anybody like that, just suddenly you're a contender because they're just they do so much on the court.
Maybe Jokic is the one that I'd say I'd put even ahead of him. Maybe. Right. but Giannis is that impactful to me. But I said to you, I think I might be getting close to I'm all set. Like, there is something that he is showing here that I really don't love from the unceremonious exodus of Mike Budenholzer after being a championship coach who got that team not only to a championship, but constantly hovering around a championship, to now his attitude. And Don took the words from my mouth on the call. For a guy who's not trying to look like the bad guy, he's sure starting to look like the bad guy.
And if you're the Knicks, you're probably looking at him saying, if you really want to be here, just say it. And he won't say it. He just won't. He didn't in the summer when they had some brief conversation about it, and he won't right now. And that's why it puts the Knicks in a really bad position, because if you're feeling like before next week, before the trade deadline, next Thursday, if you're getting indications from the Bucks, hey, listen, we've got a better offer, let's say Minnesota. We got a better offer there, and unless you can put more on the table that you're not willing to put on the table, we're going to go in that direction. What do the Knicks do? Like, what do they feel that pressure of, we're going to have to do it now? Because it does feel damned if you do and damned if you don't, one way or another. But getting him does change a lot of things, and obviously it is a really good business decision when it comes to the value of the franchise and all the business side of things that when a player of that magnitude comes to your franchise. This, to me, is the moment of truth for this front office over the next couple of days.
But there's a few things that you got to consider. First of all, I think you're throwing away a chance to do anything this season, because you'd be trading for a player that can't play right away, right? You're going to disrupt the chemistry that you have. Now, the counter to that would be, well, what chemistry? You're just struggling. Well, you just won 4 in a row. You're back to being the 2 seed. And I still think this team has an excellent chance to at least get to a conference final, if not a final. Do I think they're winning a championship? No, I don't. But I don't think the Knicks fan could be, spitting an opportunity to go play in a final. You've only played in 2 in the last 30 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm not throwing away that opportunity. And then how would you feel if you threw it away and then you find out OKC gets bounced in the second round or suffers a series of injuries and maybe you could have won a championship? I'm not throwing a season away. And especially throwing a season away for a guy that even if you got him, do you even know you'll have him next year? Because we talked about it yesterday, Peter. With this calf injury, is this eventually going to lead to an Achilles, and I lose him for a year anyway? I mean, so there's nothing ever guaranteed, and he wants to be here. Well, show me how much you want to be here. I just don't think I would want to do it. I still think there's something about this season, and I still think that you can get him in the offseason. Just call his bluff, man. Like, does he hate it in Milwaukee that much that he's going to throw away an opportunity to play for the team he wants to play for, just to go finish out the season and try to win in Golden State? Good luck. Golden State's got some nice players, but you're in the same conference as OKC. You're in the same conference as Denver. You're in the same conference as Minnesota. You want to go play in Miami?
And that team is fading. Like, there's no question. Right. We know the guys in Golden State are on the way out. They've said, Steve Kerr's literally come out and said, we understand we're at the end of the line. Now, obviously, Giannis would reinvigorate that team, but that doesn't change Steph Curry's age.
No, I think Minnesota's the bigger threat because of Anthony Edwards, 24-year-old megastar. You put those two together and you try to build something going forward, with that. But that's they like Miami also. While everybody loves to, the big bad wolf that they are, I just, what do they have to offer, and then what's left there anyway as well, right? So
that's right.
I look at Minnesota as a team that I would be most concerned about because their GM is very good, Tim Connolly, and they have a superstar to pair him with that could be. They've been to 2 conference finals in a row here, so it's not like Minnesota's a bad team. I don't know how they make it work money wise. I don't know who you're giving up. Imagine if Julius Randle is that piece that they end up using to make the money work. But let me, before I answer to what you said, Don, about like I'd rather wait it out, make him, if you really want to be here, then you'd wait too. I trust Brian Windhorst probably more than anybody else when it comes to covering things because he's so measured and he's also very well connected. So here's the latest from Windy on what he's hearing and what he's putting together about the Giannis sweepstakes that we are now heading into over the next week.
the Golden State Warriors, primarily because they control all of their trade assets. If they were willing to offer all of them, that's 4 first-round picks, potentially a couple of pick swaps, plus some, young players that are interesting, including Brandon Pajemski, who's a Milwaukee native. If there are teams out there that can involve a third or fourth team to improve their offer, a team like Miami, for example, and a team like the Knicks, I think the Knicks can make a compelling offer, but it requires them to really abandon what they've got going now and then to go out and recruit third and fourth teams. Those are big hurdles to cross, but I think the Knicks can make a compelling offer. And Shams mentioned that Minnesota Timberwolves. He is not mentioning that for no reason. This is something, from what I understand, that Giannis has interested in. The Timberwolves don't have draft picks and don't have the young players. They'd have to center around veteran players, but that is something that we should keep an eye on as well.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up Minnesota as well. And listen, so Don, that's why when you say, and I totally understand it, when you say you want to come here, don't make us blow up the team, just chill. Wait till the summer. Better time to do it. And it's really, if you think about it, those options that he laid out, Golden State and all their draft picks, how valuable are those draft picks going to be really if he goes there with Steph Curry and they're winning and they're
right.
They're going to be in the 20s, those picks. So that's not value. To recruit a third team, what's in it for them? If you're the Knicks, you're trying to recruit a third team. People have thrown out, some speculation that, Portland has all of Milwaukee's picks from the Lillard deal. So what if you got Portland to give Milwaukee their picks back? Okay, great. What's in it for them? Oh, they like Mikal Bridges. Not that much, right? You're not getting the 3 picks. So there's so much there that has to work, which is why I keep saying this is so hard to do in season for everybody. Portland, by the way, coming to play the Garden tomorrow night, ironically, right? Or coincidentally. So now here's my answer to you, Don. The problem was this, and that's why I said damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you say we can't do it, we're not doing it, and only you can make it happen, if you say, I only want to go to New York, so I'll wait till the summer and let's do it then. Which Milwaukee, from what we understand, is open to doing. They are not desperate to trade him. They want to see who's desperate to get him and how much they can get. But I do think it's a dangerous place, because if things don't work out this season and this team doesn't give you that championship vibe that we thought maybe a month ago they might have, for this front office, this is your moment of truth. Everything that you've done to this point, now everybody will start saying, but they couldn't get the big fish. And they gave up too much for Bridges, and that cost them the chance to get a guy like Giannis that really could have put him over the top. The criticism will come immediately, Don. And if I own the franchise, that's something that goes in the back of your mind now. Well, we had a chance to get one of the best players in the sport, and we couldn't get him. And so how do I feel about the direction of the franchise? I just feel like it opens up so much now. It's a dangerous place that they are right now. I feel like this is a crossroads. So it's not that easy to just try to stare this thing down. It's going to take some stones. If you really want to stare this down and just keep saying to Giannis, just wait. And maybe the Bucks might say, I don't know. That's a pretty good offer we just got from Team X. I don't want to wait because that offer could come off the table. So we got to do it now. Don't you think if you're in the front office, if you are one of the guys in the front office, Don, don't you feel there's a lot more, like this feels way more pressure-packed than anything else, including trading Randall for Cat? Well, like that seemed like a no-brainer. This feels like damned if you do and damned if you don't.
It is, but the one thing, and I've never been in that kind of high-profile management place to really talk with any kind of expertise. But I would think if you're applying pressure on me, that's putting me in a really tough spot. Like, it's not so much I want to make the deal, I have to make the deal. You're putting the gun to my head.
Well, you want to make the deal.
No, of course you want to make the deal, but you don't necessarily want to make the deal now.
Right.
And the only reason you're making the deal now is the fear of losing him.
Yeah.
Well, now you're not. Now you're not. You have strength. You have power. You're forfeiting that power to just become a desperate minion like everybody else. right? Everybody else is going to be in for him because they absolutely have to. The Heat are nowhere right now. They're a shell of what they used to be, all right? Pat Riley this, Pat Riley that. They're not winning a championship as presently constituted. Not going to do it. Golden State, attractive, yes. But like you said, those picks aren't going to be anything. It's like the 5 picks the Knicks gave up for Bridges. What does it mean at the end of the day? Golden State ship has sailed. They're done. So any other place you go, Minnesota, yeah, that's really interesting. I get it, but you still have Oklahoma City to have to deal with. You still have Denver to have to deal with. That's still a very, very difficult conference, and it's a place that you don't necessarily want to be. You said you wanted to be a Knick. I actually have the cards. You're forcing me now to be like you. I don't want to give up that strength. True, it could blow up in my face.
Yeah.
But getting him could blow up in my face. He could tear his Achilles at the opening day next year, and now I'll be like, why do we get this guy?
Yeah,
but there's no history of a New York team getting a great all-time player and them tearing their Achilles immediately. That would never happen.
Why?
Well,
sorry, Al. It was sitting right there.
You think it could happen twice?
I could see it from Riyadh. It was sitting right there.
Because when you have that big of an example sitting in your lap, you have to take it off just so you don't break your lap.
No. I respect the fact that you took the opportunity. What I'm saying is that it couldn't really happen twice.
But I'm just saying,
way that could happen again, could it?
You are remember, you know the analogy that we always use for Alonzo and for Judge, the pool party. Alonzo's the guy doing cannonballs, and Judge is the one in the khakis and a dress shirt hanging out of the bar. The Knicks are Judge. They're the cool guy at the club that everybody wants to hang with, and now you're asking me to be the 5'8" portly guy running around trying to get the woman. You're reducing me. You're reducing my leverage. You're making me like everybody else. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to wait.
The Knicks can't be Peter.
I don't know why you chose Peter.
Alan, I'm glad you said it because it was obviously what he meant. So I'm glad you said it.
I saw you look 2 boxes over.
First of all, I saw Peter's look. I was not thinking about Peter. I was trying to describe a George Costanza. I do not look at Peter. I do not see George Costanza.
Just saying 5'6" would have made all the difference to 5'8". You know what I mean?
The point
That's the thing.
Is that I have leverage. He wants to come here. I'm not going to play your reindeer. I got a good basketball team. Outside of Minnesota, I've got a better team than everybody else that's going to try to trade for.
Now, and I want to get calls on this because, like we reach a point sometimes of fatigue with rumors, but the reason why at 800-919-3776, get them lined up now. Because everybody always has opinions on this. What is a deal breaker? Let's go there. Because if you're talking to them, you know you have some stuff on the table. There's a place you're willing to go. Then there's a place you're like, that's a bridge too far. We can't do that. Right? So if that's true, what is it? You're going to need a third team because I don't know if Milwaukee will want a guy whose money matches perfectly in Karl-Anthony Towns. They are trying to move on from a star. Are they trying to add a guy who's kind of making the same amount of money for the next 2-3 years? I don't know if that's the case. You don't have the young up-and-coming talent that they're looking for. You have future draft picks, which, by the way, the future draft picks that you can offer, which is we're talking about like 20, 28, 30, and 32. I'm talking about in 20, 28, 20, 30. The Knicks could be bad by then because by then, whatever this run is could be over. So those picks might actually have more value than Golden State's more current picks. So you don't know. You could sell that. There's a lot of things you can sell. But is there something that you would say is, no, I'm not doing this? Because you don't worry about the multiple player thing, blowing up your roster. You could do the straight up money match. You could put also, instead of Towns, if they don't want him, you could put Anunoby, who also has a pretty big salary, and Bridges. And if they don't want either one or one of the other, the third team gets that, right? So there's way, and then now all of a sudden you have a team that could have potentially, and I'm all spitballing here, you could have a team that potentially has Jalen Brunson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Karl-Anthony Towns. You could have that if they don't want him. Right? You don't know.
But But what are you going to give that third team to get them in? You got to entice them to join.
Oh,
the
of
party.
course, yeah, and that
isn't
that
Cat
usually
somebody that
involves
can go in
picks. That usually involves picks. I just think there's a lot of scenarios that are there. Then there's this: Milwaukee might not just want to move on from Giannis. They might look at Kyle Kuzma and say, "This guy's dead money. He's got another year on his deal. We don't want to pay this thing. Get him out of here." They might look at Bobby Portis. They might look at, Miles Turner, who they might want to move on from contracts that go beyond next season that they now want you to take on so they can clean their books up. That messes up. I told you guys, I know it's boring, but the second apron thing, the Knicks are like 50 cents below it. You go over it, the minute you go over it, you now are locked. You can't make any trades, any improvements, any changes to your roster. Nothing until you get back under it. That really puts you in a tough spot this summer and next year. Your roster then becomes your roster. And that's, I think, something that you have to really be worried about if you're the Knicks. But like I said, what's the limit? What's your no? Because we know already the Knicks are engaged in negotiations for Giannis Antetokounmpo, along with other teams. The Bucks are talking. But what is the point that you say no? The walk-away moment. What is it? 800-919-3776. So we'll get started on that conversation again. Plenty more to get to. The Yankees, Brian Cashman, is saying something that has Don twisted. And a lot of us just wondering, why would you say that? Especially when Cody Bellinger said the exact opposite when he was talking with the media. And Eli Manning, it is official now. He will not be in the Hall of Fame this year. A second year now he has not been voted in. He's going to have to continue to wait. How much longer should he wait? And do you consider him a Hall of Famer? So lots more to get to. Your calls are coming up. We got Rosenberg in Riyadh, Don LaGreca at The Rock, and all of us together again with you. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This Saturday on The Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone, group chat, smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $179 for 33 months. Or buy with 0.9% APR financing for 72 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN379853 MSRP $33,425. Zero security deposit. APR $14.27 per month for $1,000 finance, ends 2/2/26.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, commitment issues? No problem. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month forever, as in for life. Switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, you may experience slower speeds. Pay $25 a month as long as you stay on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Listen, I know the mentality. You try to play through pain and walk it off. push through one more day. But when it comes to neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, that's a losing game. That's when you call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain. Dr. Shaw is one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he focuses on non-surgical solutions that get real results. No cuts, no downtime, no dependence on pain meds. He builds you a custom game plan for you so that you can move better, feel better, and live pain-free. Same day or next day appointments are available. Visit SandwellPain.com. Stop managing pain. Start beating it.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon. Already a bad ride over in Queens. First on the eastbound side of the Grand Central, it crashed by Parsons Boulevard. You're bumper to bumper there from the LIE westbound set. Another accident in the left lane right before the Triborough Bridge. Traffic is crawling there from LaGuardia. That as you packed on the BQE eastbound, that western leg heading over to the Grand Central. Delays are backing up into Brooklyn. Looking really good heading over to the outbound George on the West Side Highway in Henry Hudson. Cross Bronx westbound already slammed from right after the Bruckner on through. Inbound George, no issues for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln already about 5 to 10. Outbound Helen 10 to 15. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
To the net. Score!
The New York Islanders are back in action with a brand new theme night schedule you won't want to miss. Bring your friends out for the holidays and take home a custom holiday replica jersey or arrive early for special bobblehead giveaway nights for Matt Barzell and Bo Horvat.
Barzell for Horvat. Score!
Explore the full theme night schedule at NewYorkIslanders.com.
When it comes to meat and seafood, selection matters, and no one beats Wild Fork Foods. To everyday essentials, to high-quality steaks, to seafood and more, every product is blast frozen to lock in peak flavor and freshness, so you get restaurant-quality meats at home for amazing prices. Shop in person at 7 locations across Long Island and New Jersey, or you can order online for same-day delivery. It's easy, it's convenient, and the prices are wild. WildForkFoods.com.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Welcome back to Yeah, That's a Pepper Thing. First up, we've got Harrison wrapping his Dr. Pepper in a tiny quilt so it feels at home. Oh, how tender. That's a Pepper Thing. And over to Becca, who's whispering affirmations to her can.
You're sweet. You're unique. You're the best thing I ever poured over ice.
She swears it makes it taste better. It's not a science thing, but it's a Pepper Thing. Why do they all do it? All for that sweet, delicious, truly one-of-a-kind taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper Thing.
All right, so that guy Thursday at 4:30, Damien Woody at 5:30, off the air at 6:30 because Islanders-Rangers once again tonight after the Islanders get a 5-2 win last night. And former Devil Andre Palat had the first goal of the game and an assist as well. So lots there to talk about, but we want to talk with you about the latest with Giannis Antetokounmpo and how it is a week away from the NBA trade deadline. And the reporting now is getting out there that the Bucks are now seriously listening to offers, and the teams involved that are talking with them include the Knicks, of course, but also Minnesota, Miami, Golden State as some of the other competitors for him. And we're just wondering, what is the point where you say no if you're the Knicks? What is too much, and that you're willing to say we're walking away even if it means we lose Giannis to another team? 800-919-3776. Let's go to Rob in Nyack to start us off. Hey, Rob.
What's up, boys? So, yeah, I understand the Luka trade was, like, totally out of the blue, overwhelming, like, whoa, how did that happen? But Luka was happy in Dallas, right? And then when I assess things, like, once you're a superstar and you're no longer happy and you express, you know, what that team is going to get in return generally will be a little bit less because you know he's not happy where he is and they want to get him out of there. So the other thing is this, like, when I look at that trade in comparison, I see Luka as better than Giannis if I'm building a franchise. I see Cat as better than AD if I'm building a franchise. So I see that gap as smaller. So there's no way I'm giving up Anunoby. Maybe Bridges if I get, like, a bench piece that I can use in clutch minutes in return. But, yeah, I'm kind of with Don on this, that the Knicks are in a good position. And Alan, wanted to hear your thoughts. I know the Luka trade seemed crazy to everybody, but the fact that Giannis is expressing that he's not happy, I think he's gettable for Cat and a little something extra.
Well, again, Rob, it takes two to tango. What you're giving the Bucks, they have to want. So, and guys, you remember when that Luka deal went down, it was such a surprise, and the reason why – you know, Dallas fired everybody after that or shortly after that was because the feeling was you could have done better if you opened it up and had other teams get involved and rather than just make it a 1-for-1 and keep it a secret, right?
Oh, for sure. But the thing about him wanting, the only person that wants to rush this along is Giannis. The Bucks are more than willing to wait till the summer. The Knicks are obviously willing to wait for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even playing right now. When's the next time he's going to come back and play?
Well, they have said indefinite.
Right, indefinite.
He's the one who said 4 to 6 weeks, but they've said indefinite.
All right, so 4 to 6 weeks. If you want to go off of that timetable, you were already into February basically. So you're talking about coming back in mid-March. He can't wait. I really, when you really break it down, the only reason there's any sense of urgency is it sounds like he can't wait. So he's willing to risk being a Knick because he can't stand playing from the middle of March to the middle of April, 1 month with a lousy basketball team in Milwaukee? That's it?
It's interesting, right? Because if you're the Bucks and you can wait, and you're the Knicks and you can wait, what is the reason for opening this up other than to see if you can get a team that's going to maybe give you more than they want to? Maybe you can get a better deal or at least get somebody desperate. That's why I've constantly said I don't see this happening in season for exactly what we're saying. And also because the honest thing, if he gets traded to a team and plays right away, then we know this second cap thing was bogus.
Right.
But you're right, Don. I didn't even think about that. If you can't even use him until March anyway, and then you got to acclimate him into your team and then try to make a run now.
No, you're probably throwing any chance of doing something this year away. Now, like I said earlier, the counter is most Knicks fans don't believe they're winning a championship anyway. But are you telling me right now they can't get to a final? No shot. I can't say that. I think it's still going to be tough because it looks like the Pistons are really good. But I think this team, even if they got swept by the Thunder, you telling me that's not nothing? Like,
getting to a final but getting swept?
Come on, man. You haven't been to a final since 99.
I understand.
You've only been to 2 finals since 94. I mean, you're willing to throw that away because you got to get Giannis now and have him sit there maybe for 6 weeks and not play.
Well, Don, we could have a conversation of whether or not the Knicks can get out of the first round if they get the wrong matchup because of the way they've played. Sometimes you're seeing teams that can kind of beast mode them a little bit,
right?
And that's not a good sign, right?
But
what's the Towns has not been right all year. Last night he had 22 rebounds, which is remarkable, but he was 3 for 11. Still couldn't shoot, couldn't score. Got blocked by a guy who's 6'8".
But
you know that's something that you got to get him right. It was good to see Bridges get right, but.
All right, but I don't know what the percentages are of going to the final. Is it 50-50? Is it 40%? If you make this deal for Giannis and he doesn't play for the first month you have him, plus the assets that you would give up, you have zero chance of making a run.
So you're totally against this then? You sound like you're totally against it.
I'm calling his bluff. I'm admitting that there's a chance it could blow up in my face. But if I'm confident in what I can give up, I'm confident that he wants to be a Knick, I'm willing to roll the dice.
I do like the idea of getting to play things out here and see what you have with this team, see if you can get Cat right, and then you see where the chips land in the summer. I also like the idea, not unlike how I felt about, teams being too aggressive to back up the Brinks truck for that coach to show how desperate they are. This is a Knicks team that's pretty good. And, yeah, it just seems like to do something rash right now. I get it. We're more than halfway through the year, and it's not going exactly how you hoped. But, guys, are we saying that there's no chance this team pulls it together in the final quarter of the season? They get healthy, they get right, and you start to feel good?
It could happen.
I can't be sure of that.
Last night wasn't nothing, right? You went out in the second of back-to-backs, having to travel to Canada, right? You would have lost the 2 seed, and you came up with a big win. You won 4 straight. I know it's been inconsistent, but if you believe in your team and you believe in management, see, I just think a lot of Knick fans are coming from a place of how it used to be, where your hat's in your hand, you're desperate to try to get somebody to come play for you. It's very rare that you're sitting there knowing that player wants to play for you, knowing that your team is good, coming off a conference final appearance. This isn't the Knicks missing the playoffs 5 straight years. Nobody wants to play for you. They got clown management. Relish what you are right now. Take advantage of it. Use it.
Let's continue with the calls. So go ahead, Peter.
I was just going to say, you could even go on right now and probably bet and get decent odds for the Knicks to make the finals. And if you did while you're there, it is the last call for football on FanDuel and Football. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to place your bets before the NFL season comes to a close. This is Super Bowl 60. That is so crazy every time I hear that number. And FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, you're riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, make it count, because after the Super Bowl, the season's over, and football is officially done. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. 21 and over, physically present New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-HOPE-NY, wire text HOPE-NY 467-369. And with that, Alan, let's talk to the people.
Yeah, you did some quick voice there, which was really good. Flawless, in fact.
Micro Machines at Jays.
Spike in St. Pete. Spike, how you feel about all this?
I feel great about all this. It's great to talk to you guys. Technology is amazing. Peter being in Saudi Arabia and Don at Prudential, and you, I guess, at home. I feel like opening my window and saying, hey, guys, calm down, quiet. It's amazing how technology works. Look, I saw for the last 4 games, I saw a lot of things that I liked, and I saw some things I didn't like. The last 16 minutes of yesterday's game, I went over 5 times. JB looked like he wasn't feeling well. He pulls him out. Kolek has a knack of keeping his head up and seeing the floor and making that bounce pass, which is so beautiful, Alan. It's so timely. And if I told you that JB and Cat would get under 20 points, whatever they got together, and they win the game handily, I know they played a team, as UB said, you can't teach height. That was small when I saw, what's the kid's name, Scotty Barnes jumping center. But you won without Mitch, you won without Deuce. They both had career years. Mitch has played twice as many games. The only threats I see, and I may be old, but my eye is still good, are Detroit, who lost 3 games at home last year. That's why they beat the crap out of them at the other game, and Boston. And that's not because I love Peter. That's because Joe Mazzulla should be Coach of the Year in the East.
Yeah.
So I don't think you do a thing. I don't like Mike Brown as much as I like Tibbs. I don't know why he put Clarkson in the doghouse, but he had to use Kolek yesterday. Yabusele was a bad pick, and the bottom line is they had 14 games before yesterday, and they had 4 back-to-backs, and Michael said that means no Mitch. I said no Mitch, no Deuce, and you go out to a team that's undersized. The face of Barrett and Quick they looked like they were mourning their dogs dying. I don't mean anything by that, but just an analogy. And I think this team's going to get to the finals. I just think so. I'd rather play the Pistons than the Celtics.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, Spike still believes in this team. And again, this recent turn does. I mean, if they were still struggling like they were during that 11-game stretch, Donnie, I think it'd be a lot louder. But the more calls we get, the more people are saying, don't be desperate. Don't go after him, which is amazing. He's a top three player.
Listen, here's the thing: the basketball season, we're not gonna mix it up with the baseball season, but we're also not gonna mix it up with the football season. And when you have a long season, and I'm sorry, 82 games is a long season. It's like having a conversation to some degree with the Yankees or Mets in the first half of the season, where I mean. Yeah. I don't want to, Don, think about the New York Mets last year. Think about the Yankees in the past couple of years. There are times where teams completely change. I think it's actually kind of smart and mature of fans to not panic and actually think, hey, we have a team that went to the conference finals last year. We have a weaker conference this year. We have a new coach that hopefully is worth his weight. Some people obviously believe, some don't. And you feel like you have a slightly better team than you did last year. So why would you not want to roll the dice and see where this thing goes after the All-Star break?
And when you take a look at Kat's comments where he basically admitted that the whole possibility of being traded for Giannis has affected him, does he become re-engaged if he knows, or at least I know I'm here for the rest of the year, and I got a chance to do something here? And then once we get to the summer, who knows? But, will that re-engage him to know that he's going to be here? Like you said, he had a bunch of rebounds last night. His stats aren't that bad. He's just not what fans expect him to be. But if you can re-engage him, get healthy, all their issues, guys, they're still the number 2 seed in the conference.
Yeah.
And why is Detroit any different than Cleveland last year? Right? Cleveland ran away with everything in the regular season, and then come postseason, you saw what happened. Can that be Detroit this year?
I tell you what, I have an answer for that. I also have something that I saw last night as well, that it's all the reason to think that if you're in the front office, the pressure you're feeling is the idea of if we don't do it, we lose him, and we have to know that we did our best. But you have to be okay with letting a top 3 player in the NBA go somewhere else because you weren't willing to make the deal, right? So there's a lot to me there. But when you look at the way the team has played of late, that's the team telling you don't need to break this team up. So something I saw last night we'll get into. 4 o'clock hour, we'll get into the baseball, as Don has mentioned, with the Yankees. And run it back has become a thing that everybody's saying, except for Brian Cashman. So we'll get into that in the 4 o'clock hour as well. But more of your calls coming up, 800-919-3776. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Empower. Ellie here is getting the sleeve she's always dreamed of. She worked with Empower and planned for her next move, so she got good at money. Now she can be a little bad. Oh, by the way, you spelled journey wrong. No worries. She can afford the cover-up, too. Ooh, check out my tat. It says, invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com. That's ESPN New York.
So the Knicks, by the way, have to make it a by the way because the Giannis news and a lot of the chatter about it around the NBA that really kicked up this morning again really became a priority because it was the most recent thing. But the Knicks did get a very impressive win last night in Toronto. Second game of a back-to-back, as Don mentioned. And this was impressive because you had no Robinson and no McBride. They sat out for injury management because of the back-to-back. Jalen Brunson was under the weather. He was questionable even before the game started, but played because that's what a captain does. Josh Hart was questionable because you saw him limping around after the game last night. But he played because, again, he's a leader. It's what he wanted to do. And the Knicks were losing, Donnie, by 11 points with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they couldn't make a three. They didn't look like they had it. Then all of a sudden, it just started to click. Tyler Kolek came in, passing the ball around, doing a nice job. He hadn't played in a while. And then Bridges suddenly got hot. I don't know if he had a great game, but it was something about Bridges that he just looked different. And he started scoring. He scored 20 points in the third quarter. The Knicks went on a 27-4 run to end the quarter. And suddenly, from down 11 to up 12 going into the fourth. Turns out they outscored Toronto in the last 20 minutes of the game by 40 points.
Wow.
So won the game going away, 119-92. And after the game, Bridges, who ended up with 30 points. Now remember, 2 games ago in Philadelphia, that's his hometown, he was 3 for 16, got benched, didn't play the end of the game. And he had a better game against Sacramento, but then he was terrific in Toronto. And here's him on MSG. This is Clyde asked him, like, what changed after that game in Philly where you had a 3 for 16? What changed for you? This answer is a very honest one from Mikal Bridges.
I don't know. I think a lot of it comes from not just shooting the ball. I think I just wasn't playing how I was supposed to be playing. I think I wasn't coachable enough. I don't know what it was. Maybe I felt too much entitlement, but just had to kind of talk to myself a little bit about it and just be coachable, be the best team I can be, and then, let basketball speak for itself.
I mean, think about that for a minute. He talked about himself being accountable, being coachable. I wasn't being coachable.
You love that.
Like, think about, like, right? Like, that's as honest an answer as you can get, and you don't get that a lot of times. And it said a lot for me, and maybe even for him, thinking about his mortality as a Knick over the last couple of days. And he's thought to himself, no, I don't want to go anywhere. I need to be here, and I need to get my head right.
I know it's a little rah-rah for me to say this, but if they don't make this move, how much does that galvanize that room? That the organization says, we believe in you guys.
It's a great question.
We got a chance to get Giannis, but you know what? We're not going to do it because we think you're good enough. And what does that do for Cat? What does that do for Bridges? Because obviously there's always going to be that feeling of negativity or apprehension that they're really as good as they're supposed to be. I mean, I would think that'd be a rallying cry for the room, that they believe in us. Because how does it feel right now in that room? That you went to the conference final last year, and all anybody's talked about this season is how you got to get better. You got to get Giannis. You're not good enough to win unless you get that other player. And then you turn around and not get that player. Not because you couldn't get him, but you make the statement, we're good. We're good.
That's the thing.
You're right, Peter. Even going for it and not getting him could do damage.
Right. You can't just it seems like you don't communicate with the players. Time passes. Oh, it looks like it just didn't work out. It has to be an affirmative statement of we're good. We don't need to blow this thing up. We love this team. Let's make it happen. I know it is a little rah-rah. It is a little major league. But it is nice when you hear things like that from Bridges. It does make you think. And by the way, even through Cat's weird-ish behavior, he still, Alan, I'm not wrong, he still has moments of being very reflective and wanting to get this right. But I don't think the heart and good stuff, I really do believe sort of in the core fabric of this team mentally, emotionally, intellectually. I think it's there. It just hasn't all come together yet. And maybe something like that would work, Don.
It's so interesting you say that, Peter, because you throw out Major League and like every corny sports movie, last to first rallying cry. It's really not going that deep. You're a 2 seed. You went to the conference final last year. It's not rah-rah, let's be the 69 Mets here and let's come out of nowhere and win the thing. No, you're there. You're right there. And that little bit of belief could be enough for you to be able to just get over the top and at least get to where you were last year.
Both of you are saying things, which is why I said this feels like a moment of truth for the front office, because here is an all-time great who could change everything. And if you say, you know what, we're stepping away, what does that do when you walk in the room and go, you know what, guys, we could have traded for him, and we said no because we want to believe in you guys. That could galvanize the room. That could maybe clear Cat's head, or it could end up being a mistake if those guys don't follow through. So it is a very interesting point. Josh Hart retweeted that interview that we just played with Bridges. Even he said, this is the realest and most impressive post-game interview you will ever see. Proud of my brother. You could tell they've had a lot of internal conversations, this group.
They have. And Peter's right. You got to be smart about it. You can't wait until you don't get them and say, well, we never wanted them in the first place.
Yeah.
Like a week before the deadline, say, we're out. We're good. We like our team.
Yeah. It could be a great story.
Plus, it really sticks it to Giannis, too. Like, all right, how bad do you want to be here? How bad do you want to be a Knick?
And I love that point you added, Don. You're not doing this with a last-place team.
Right.
This is a really good team who was in the conference finals last year. The best team in the conference is down their best player. And there's another team that's really good that this Knicks team can handle and play with in Detroit. This isn't a crazy – you're not asking the Wizards to do it, okay? This isn't a movie. This is a very realistic thing.
Well, one thing I will say, though, is can't do nothing at the trade deadline, though, because you still got to get a dog or two added to the team. Vinny in Bergen County. We got a lot of calls on this, so let's keep going. Vinny in Bergen County, you're up next, Vinny.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
So, Don, you're talking sense. Peter, you're talking sense. Hahn, you're talking sense. Why get rid of it? Why go for Giannis right now when you can upgrade at the Hukporti position, you can upgrade at the Abusele position, and you put a team together that didn't make it last year? They made moves. They got Clarkson. You see Kolek now. You got these guys. Everyone's playing pretty well. I know they had a couple rough games, but upgrade at those positions. I just want to know what you guys think. You make those upgrades, and I don't know. You think you go on a pretty good run.
That's the thing, Vinny, and thanks for the call, is the subtle moves that might not get headlines, and casual fans will throw their arms up going, who's this guy? What'd you do? You could have gotten Giannis, and you got this guy instead. Like, those people say that. But those are the moves, and Don, we've seen this throughout sports, and all the sports you and I have covered. Sometimes those subtle trades at the deadline are the ones you talk about in May and June and say, no one made a big deal about this trade when they did it, but what an impact this guy has had for this team.
Those are the nice ones, right? Like we were just doing the whole John McClain thing back on Tuesday, that the deal the Devils made in '95 to win the Cup was Neil Broughton. And I remember when they made the deal, it's like, all right, well, Neil Broughton, kind of old, nice player, third lines, and he's scoring big goals, and one of the reasons why they won. Those are the ones. Like, there could be times you make trades that sends a message to the room. We believe in you. That's why we made this deal. Yep. And then there's deals you make, we don't believe in you, and that's why we made this deal. They need to make a deal that says, we think you guys got it. We just want a little insurance. We just want a little depth. We want a little maintenance deal to help this happen. I think that's important to the room, man, especially the psyche of this team, which does seem to be fragile.
It can be. But it'll be amazing that if on the other side of this thing, if Karl-Anthony Towns is still in a Knicks uniform, if all of a sudden whatever's going on in his head suddenly miraculously disappears. More of your calls coming up. We know they're not going away. 800-919-3776. So we'll continue with you on that. But let's also get into what sounds like the motto of the season for the Yankees. Run it back. Just don't mention that to Brian Cashman, because he said that's not what's going on here. Do you agree or disagree? That is coming up as well. Stay with us. Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free, HBO Max included for 1 year, and a 5-year price lock. Don't wait, this free fiber deal won't last long, and the fastest, most reliable, most consistent internet speeds await you. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/free today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $189 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM844-681. MSRP $29,075. Zero security deposit. Ends 2/2/26.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
We are back, and we are looking at a pretty lopsided matchup, Jim.
That's right, Ron. I mean, in one corner, we've got a 175-pound guy, and in the other, a 6,000-ton heavyweight train.
Jim, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
It's no contest. Every day, people tempt fate and die trespassing on railroad tracks. See tracks? Think train.
ESPN New York. Now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2 New York.
402 in the big city with Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg. I'm Alan Hahn. 800-919-3776 is the number. We have That Guy Thursday, bottom of the hour. We have Damien Woody at 5:30. And we have you and your calls at 800-919-3776 here. We'll get into some Yankees momentarily, but let's get through a few more of these Knicks calls regarding Giannis and regarding the idea of standing pat and saying we believe in this team, or biting the bullet and saying if Giannis is going to get traded, we can't afford to see him go to another team. We got to get him. Let's go to George in the Lower East Side coming up next. Hey, George.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Listen, Alan, I love your take on Bridges, after the game. Honestly, I think that was a message. I think that right now it is very clear that things are not going right with Brown. I don't like the calling out of players in the public eye. I think that some of that stuff needs to stay in-house. And I think that Mikal was letting us know that he's actually being traded and being moved. And I think that that's the worst-case scenario. Giannis is a phenomenal player. You don't get called the freak for, being a mid player. But at the same time, he is turning 31. His Achilles is going to burst real quick. And I think that if we got to trade anybody, and it has to be Cat, I think that there are some players out there, Jeremy Jackson included, where we could get a first pick for him. But we got to build around the team, and Sadiq Bey is another name, and Jose Alvarado. Those are three players that I think we need to bring in. Giannis is not the one, and he has had better teams over there in Milwaukee and has done less with them. So I think right now we stay pat. If we got to move Cat, then we move him for a better package.
All right, George. I mean, thanks for the call.
I get it, man.
Don't know if I read that in Bridges. Did you? That he's not happy with. He said I wasn't being coachable. Right? That's what he said.
I took it as the opposite of the caller.
Yeah.
That he was putting it on himself. That the message wasn't getting there, and now it's starting to get there.
Very much. In other words, that call, I hate to say it because it was a lovely guy, but it sounds like what we're saying is potentially we take down the sign in the studio. And that's a horrible phone call. I mean, if everyone on the show thinks you got it precisely wrong, what makes it a worse call?
So, but I liked his Giannis take, but I didn't love the Bridges take.
Yeah, the
Bridges. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the show?
Well, I'm just saying a bad call means it was a bad. You can't have some good aspects of a bad call. You can't have
a good point. All right, fine.
Yeah. It's if
you're
multiple,
a kind and benevolent judge.
Multiple takes are bad. One good one doesn't make up for it. Flavio in Brooklyn. Flavio, you're up next.
What's up, baby?
Hey, how's it going, Don, Alan, and Peter? So I'm on the side that I don't want to trade for Giannis now. Alan, you kind of touched on it earlier about I think it was like the second apron. I know that was going to heavily impact the Knicks, for the following year, and I just don't want this to happen.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to trade for somebody, I would rather, touch around the bench. The previous caller mentioned Jose Alvarado. I know he's a guy from Queens. I need somebody like that, kind of like a bulldog mentality. If we are going to be trading for Cat, if we are going to be trading Cat, which I really do not want, because, I mean, this man was like a demon on the boards yesterday with 22 rebounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he cashed me in with what's it called, plus 750 for 16 rebounds yesterday, and I was very grateful for that. But I don't want him to be traded just because Giannis, the whole calf injury. My sister ended up tearing her Achilles playing soccer, and I just I just don't want that to be happening. Calf injuries are very sensitive now, and I feel like they're a little bit more frequent, and I just feel like getting somebody that's compromised, if he gets hurt on our watch, then we're screwed. So
yeah, you lose a year.
Yeah, that's to me again. The calf injuries change everything. I thought, right, guys? Like I feel like that just adds another layer to the reason to hit the pause button.
Well, unless, like you said, it's performative out of Giannis to get a deal done. I just don't want to have to play, and you find out it's not that serious, but. That would be a character flaw to me. That would be a red flag to me. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to sit there and pretend to be an altar boy, but I'm That would be really bad guy level if you're lying about an injury to try to get a deal done. That's not cool.
One thing I want to point out about Towns, he's having a down year for him, right? He leads the league in rebounding, and he leads the league in double-doubles. But it's a bad year. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing to say those things. Like, he's the best rebounder in the NBA, and he also has the most double-doubles of anyone in the NBA. And yet, this is a bad year. All right, we'll get back to this the Knicks conversation later on. So those who are still on hold, we'll get to you. But we're getting the sense from the majority of people that they don't want to see the Knicks be desperate here. That's what the guys are saying on the show as well. So it seems like we all kind of have a consensus right now, but it's a story we'll certainly keep an eye on. In the meantime, guys, the Yankees, their roster's complete now.
Yes.
Right? We know what they are with Cody Bellinger now in the fold. And there's a phrase that's being thrown around with Bellinger being one of them that had said it, which is about the idea of how he's happy to be running it back with the team. And it's a very similar roster to last year's team that wasn't quite good enough. So Brian Cashman had a problem with the idea of the Knicks looking like they're running it back.
Yankees.
Here's what he said. Yankees. Sorry.
It's not the same roster. I would differ there. We have some players at some point returning from the IL that are important players. Garrett Cole being obviously one of them. But we've had some additions, from the second half that got their feet wet with the Yankees, some with success, some with failures or success. But, once they'll now be in a position to join us with their feet on the ground and getting their sea legs under them, with the manager, too, learning how to utilize these guys.
No, you can go ahead and fade that out.
No, I get it. I don't mind
I
it.
agreed with it.
I wanted to make sure if you guys wanted to hear it, but I just...
Peter, do you approve of the use of the play it out music on this one?
Listen, guys, I always approve of the play it out music. Not as much as Don, who would rather play the play it out music than ever even hear the person. But I generally approve.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Peter. I thought if we went to Cashman and you just heard the music, I think you would have approved.
That's fine. Cashman's voice is the music. He's his own play it out music. Like he literally, it's Sleepy Time Bobos.
Right. At the Oscars in February, they should play a soundbite of Cashman when they need you to be done.
You want to get people to wrap it up. Just hear that monotone voice. You know it's going to go on for 40, 50 seconds. Listen, I in the K-Show days, I always yearned for the occasional Hal Steinbrenner call because Hal would give us a little something. And Cashman's a master of the filibuster. He goes and you rarely get anything.
That's why I think if Brian ever heard us talk about this, at least I hope he would take it as a compliment because it's very strategic. He does that. He reduces the number of questions you ask, and he kind of lulls you into a place that he wants you to be. So that's why he does it. Because I've talked to him. He's an engaging guy. He's a fun guy. But he knows how to get the most of an interview by giving you the least he possibly can. But I don't know why he's so sensitive about the running it back, why that's pejorative. Why couldn't he just say, hey, listen, we're running it back because we had a damn good team last year that literally came within one game of being the Blue Jays, right? They tied the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays had the tiebreaker, and the Blue Jays went to Game 7 of the World Series. So I don't know if the Yankees would have done that, but they would have had the opportunity had they had the tiebreaker, won one more game, they win the division, they've got the easier path, and they might be back in the World Series. And you're talking about a team that's gone to back-to-back World Series while you're blowing it up. But he's playing semantics. Oh, we're getting Cole back. Oh, we have the guys that we acquired during the season, like Jazz. All right, but when we say running it back, we're talking about running it back with the team that you had down the stretch, right? We're talking about McMahon at third base. We're talking about Jazz at second or wherever you end up playing him. That's what we're talking about. And Bellinger was using it as a compliment, like happy we're running it back because he's saying, I want to be a part of this team. I like the direction this team is going. What is so wrong with that? Now, fans are going to look at it as a negative because they didn't add anything, because fans want an all-star at every position. But why couldn't Brian just own the fact that this is the team he likes? Because then later on he goes, hey, I defy anybody to say this isn't a championship roster. So why are you even arguing about the running it back? Why not double down on it?
If you really
since when do you care what the fans think anyway?
Well, he does. We know he does, right? And by the way, if they ever do a remake of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, he certainly can do the Bueller. Like he's got that's the voice that he's got.
What was his name again? He had a game show.
He was yeah.
Peter, you remember his name?
He ended up making some money. Did pretty well. A couple of commercials.
I got to look it up. But yeah, because he was wasn't he like a writer for Nixon? He could have been Peter's dad. But on a Democrat.
But not a writer for Nixon.
But
I'm saying your dad was the Democratic version of, why can't I think of his name now? Oh, man.
Bueller. Hello. Bueller.
Hello. He's sick.
Well, why am I spacing on his name, too?
Brian
Come on,
could
Don.
do that. Don's got it.
Ben Stein.
When
Ben
Stein's money. That was the show.
There you go.
Yeah. So...
But your dad was the Democratic Ben Stein, right?
But he was much more entertaining.
I never give my dad's leanings on the show. You know that.
Well, but McGovern, it's not hard to look up.
Don, the kids are so young. They don't even know who McGovern is.
But it says it in the drop.
Oh, well, let's say it. It's in the drop.
McGovern, Democrat, for the people.
For the people. For the people.
I know sometimes we got to beat our listeners over the head, but...
Honest to God, I can honestly say I think underrated. We've never discussed this. I think that's an RJ Santillo vehicle. And I think it's one of the most brilliant polls of all time. Because I didn't know it existed. So that didn't come from anything except Michael making fun of my dad for working for McGovern, and then one day RJ just dropping the audio of the real commercial from and we lost it. That was a moment. Alan, picture that out of nowhere. I'm getting ragged on it for no reason. And then you just hear that clearly 1971-2 commercial. A moment in time.
And how do you lose to Nixon? Let's be honest.
I mean, got throttled.
Now, isn't that such a Mad Dog thing? I mean, how do you lose to Nixon?
No.
Come on, McGovern. Get your act together, McGovern. It was sitting right there for you.
You got to write better scripts. You guys should have won.
That's another one of my friend Zach, who grew up here. That's one of my friend Zach's favorite all-time Mike and Chris moments. Is when he heard them having a legitimate argument over presidents and doing it exactly like that. And no one talks about Harding, Mikey.
There's nothing better
too good
than if you just create their arguments or their debates, but put
over
actual
anything.
Historic moments that
maybe if Taft had a salad now and then.
So, but on the Yankee front, getting back to that, if I may, if you think about it, what they thought was going to be a team that built off of a World Series appearance, they never really got to see because of the Cole injury. And then you add to it, hold my calls, if you add to it the fact that they did make adjustments to the roster midseason that everybody realized this team needs to get more athletic. They need the things they needed to do midseason, it looked like they finally addressed. Third base. All that stuff to me was addressed during the season.
Right.
So when you look at them in totality, what is it, other than everybody wanted them to do something with Volpe, what is it that they're lacking? Right? What are they lacking? That's what I want to know. What's not good enough?
I think what they lacked and they tried to address, we'll see if it's enough, is to just button it up. The fundamentals, right? That's why they lost to the Dodgers. They're kicking the ball around. Poor decisions running the bases. And that's why you try to strengthen the defense by bringing in Jazz and bringing in McCann at third base. You were trying to address that because that was the problem, right? I mean, listen, the offense always seems to disappear in the postseason. We know that. They've addressed that. But the offense in the regular season it seems to be more than enough. But they just didn't seem mentally like they were in the game. They seem to change that, and we'll see if that continues to move forward this year. But I remember you, in the middle of last season, you were screaming that they didn't address the problem because there were still kicking the ball around, losing games because they just weren't mentally sound. But didn't you feel like that improved in the second half?
I felt like it did go away. It was the Volpe thing took on a life of its own because he had the yips for a while, and then we didn't know was the shoulder injury real or not. So you had that going on. Jazz moving Jazz off third just seemed to be something you had to do. McMahon definitely, calmed that down, but didn't have the bat. By the way, did you see that they're entertaining the idea of bringing Goldschmidt back?
Yes,
because he doesn't really he hasn't gotten any.
Well, why? Well, why not?
Interest.
I mean, you have a first baseman, but you're telling me that he can't be a bat off the bench, play first base occasionally?
And you don't have to play him, right? Like, if Ben Rice is your main guy, then if you have Goldschmidt and he's there, why not? I guess. But, it does. You do have the versatility of Bellinger. But it'd be interesting because that's really running it back. If you bring him back at a cheap contract, 1 year type of deal, but tell me you're not running it back.
Listen, I've been at odds with Cashman, and I generally agree with the fans when they rip Brian. But if you ran it back and then you have Cole, it should be good enough. Why wouldn't it be good enough as 2 years ago when they went to Game 5 of the World Series? And they should be more buttoned up defensively. Caballero could steal the job from Volpe, and that corrects short, right? You're better defensively at third.
Mm-hmm.
You figure out not having to play Stanton in the outfield.
Why? Like, again, I don't – that's why I don't know. What is the outrage over running it back?
Because that's what Yankee fans – and I'm not faulting them for this, but it's just a fact that – when they fall short, they want major change. I went to the World Series. They lost Juan Soto. That's the other thing, too. You went to the World Series, you lost Juan Soto, still went to the playoffs. You've got to make the big, bold move when you come up short. Sometimes, hey, we got Cole coming back. We got Rendon coming back. We've made some adjustments to the bullpen. We're going to have the guys we had in the second half all year, so we should be better defense. I understand the knee-jerk reaction to rip Brian, but what did you want to get? The biggest thing during this offseason was to make sure you kept Bellinger. They did. And we talked about it yesterday, Peter, that he was very complimentary, Brian, on Hal, I think, from a PR standpoint. Like, hey, Hal stepped up. We gave him the extra year.
Right.
We didn't lose Bellinger. What was out there? Were you going who were you going to get? Yeah. Who was the guy that you want that they didn't get?
Yeah. And that you really could have gotten.
That was realistic, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to just leave it alone and let the team that you thought last year could be something, and then add to it. That maybe just say, give this team a chance. I still don't like the approach. I don't like that's all the other stuff. But
that's philosophy. That's not going to change.
I don't like any of it, but it doesn't mean that this team, once they get healthy, and by the way, let's remind everybody, they're not going to be healthy out of the gate. We know this. But if they could get it on track with a healthy roster going into August, into September, then I need to see what it looks like. That's why I don't have a problem with running it back this year. The Grisham thing, all right, so you got. But if he can just give you another season like he did last year, and he should, because he should be motivated with the fact that, okay, I took my qualifier, but I'm going to be a free agent, so I need to keep putting numbers up. If you can still get another good year out of him, great. If you don't, okay, now you got a problem. But that was the only one of the offseason that made you like shake your head. Like, what?
That was a miscalculation on his.
But it didn't cost them Bellinger. I was worried it might, but it didn't. They still were able to keep him. So that's
so it didn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it cost you, what was it, 21 point whatever. But
that's something.
That wasn't philosophy, Peter. That was just a miscalculation.
Yeah, it was.
And he thought he wouldn't take it. He took it. But if he puts up the numbers he put up last year, then nobody's going to complain about it. If he reverts back to what he was early in his career, then that's going to be a problem.
Let's get a couple calls in on this. 800-919-3776 on the Yankees. And Frank in Westchester, he's happy with running it back.
Yes, I am. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Frank.
How are you, sir?
Hey.
Yeah, so, I take exception with only one thing you said. You guys, you got my blood boiling, and then you dialed it back. talk about Yankee fans want a superstar. That's horse crap. I feel like that's the extremes that live on sports radio. That's not the average Yankee fan. I'm a partial season ticket holder, and I consider myself a big fan. And yeah, there's some things I wasn't excited about Grisham, and I know we got to work out. Volpe, you got to figure out if he's going to hit or not hit. If he's got the yips, if it's the shoulder, what the issue is. But I'm all for running this team back for every reason you guys said. And the only thing I take exception with is like this belief that Yankee fans want a superstar at every location. I don't want to win that way.
I can only live in the world that I'm in. And being on a show with Michael Kay where we talked a lot of Yankees, even on this show last year, the people that call are those people now. Maybe they're the vocal minority. They probably are. We need more callers like you, people that look at it a little bit more logically. I'm not telling you not to be upset, but sometimes I think that at least the Yankee fans that call and tweet, they get irrational. And we can only react to those. Because that's what we hear all the time, right, Peter? That's all we heard on the Michael Kay show, at least.
And everywhere. I mean, come on. It's the Yankee fan way.
Again, I keep reverting back to this, but, Alan, you weren't there. It's just that whole year the Judge was breaking the American League record for home runs, and most of the conversation was, why is Joey Gallo on this team? Like that's all we heard all the time.
I remember.
All we talked about.
Dude. I remember. Don't focus on that. He's a bad player. I get it, but you're like 20 games above 500. Stop. But
it's the happy being miserable that I think happens with not just Yankees fans. I do think there's a loud minority of New York fans that are just happy being miserable because it's the easiest way to do it. Even in the good times, I always joked that if like the Knicks win the NBA championship, the next day someone will go, well, they're not going to win 2 in a row because of this and this and like, you know what I mean? Like instead of just you can't ever just be happy.
The Knicks
or have optimism.
The Knicks are one of the perfect examples of what you hear from callers isn't necessarily what the fan base feels.
Yeah,
was Carmelo Anthony. We would take phone calls all day. Melo's a cancer. You can never win with Melo. Blah blah blah. And meanwhile, I'd watch Knick games, and every time Melo touches the ball, the building was like electric, and they were cheering him. And now they want their number retired.
Yeah.
Because it's the vocal minority of fans. Because let's face it, just like social media, you're probably going to call to complain more to call and rave about your team, right? You're going to find something to complain about. That's usually what moves the needle. Finding the negative. We're guilty of it too sometimes. We'll lead with the bad story than the good story because we know the reaction to the bad is going to be way better than the reaction to the good.
Oh, the calamity, right? That's what
no, you're right.
Love to live in that world. All right, so we have calls. We'll keep going with them, but we also have that guy.
That's right.
Thursday. Do you have a that guy?
I have a tremendous that guy.
Oh, well, we know who we're leading with then. Peter?
Do I have a that guy? I need a moment.
Okay. Well, you got a couple of moments because we're going to go to break here. 800-919-3776. That guy Thursday on your calls. Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Ox Spine at New York Presbyterian is always in pursuit of a better way to heal the spine. We're getting more people moving again with minimally invasive, non-surgical, and surgical treatments with innovative solutions for every back and spine condition and your unique needs. Expert spine care is available now across New York City and Westchester. Find a doctor at nyp.org/oxspine. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever. Meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We've got a whole new set of issues over in Queens. LIE eastbound, a crash by the Clearview blocking 2 lanes. Traffic is crawling there from right out of the Midtown Tunnel. Another hit on the Whitestone Expressway southbound just before Northern Boulevard and City Field. Bumper-to-bumper ride there from the Whitestone Bridge. Looks like a broken down truck on the outbound Gowanus by Fort Hamilton Parkway. Packed ride heading over to the Staten Island bound Verrazano. Delays go back onto the westbound BQE from the Williamsburg Bridge. Best ride to the outbound George, southbound Deegan and Henry Hudson. Inbound George just about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln Orynia 10 to 15. Outbound Holland 15 to 20. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? SafeStep walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
We all have that one friend.
I'm talking about the yo-yos who set themselves on fire and bathe in pork and beans.
Or know that one person.
I'm here with my family.
Who can't help but be.
He's not cool. His voice is weird. He's kind of a dork. His brother's a tool. His girlfriend's annoying.
That guy.
I didn't know it was Banner night. We won't be out for that.
It's time for That Guy Thursday.
Hey, guys. Anyone want to play some ball?
With Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
He's just being that guy.
Our best though.
That gets you every time, doesn't it?
It's so good. Bathe in pork and beans?
I know. What is that?
How does he do it?
Yeah, That Guy Thursday, and I don't even want to waste any time because Don said he has a big one.
Yeah.
Which it's always good to brag about. So let us know. What do you got?
Well, That Guy Thursday, my that guy is me. I'm that guy. I am that guy because I was always the guy that would fight with Michael Kay. Oh, you're missing out on the Olympic hockey, man. It's just so good seeing the best on best and America versus Canada, and it's so much fun. Yeah, shut down the league. I get it because you got to do it because the players want to do it, and you want the relationship with the PA so that you have no problems with any CBA or lockouts or strikes. No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And listen, I'll watch it. And I'll be into it like I am every Olympics. But I got to tell you, as we're getting closer and closer to it, I'm not feeling it, man. I am not feeling it because I'm watching the hockey that's getting played right now and how wide open these races are and how important the regular season is. Now we're getting closer to the trade deadline. Teams are starting to make moves. There's a bunch of teams in the Eastern Conference that could actually make runs. And we're going to shut it down for 18 days to go play in the Olympics for games that are going to be at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, I was all for it. It was in Salt Lake and Vancouver. The games were at a normal time.
Yeah.
And I was talking about with John Forsland when I was in Seattle, and John Forsland, one of the voices at TNT, and he's the television voice of the Kraken, is that we don't know what this is going to look like when we come back, guys. There's going to be like 25 games left. Who's going to get hurt in the Olympics? Who's going to be stale coming out of the Olympics? I mean, there could be seasons lost because of what happens during that 3-week shutdown. And the league's got to sell it, right? So guys get hurt. Like when Jack Hughes got hurt in Chicago and cut his finger. Oh, he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Don't worry, he'll be back for the Olympics. I don't care about the Olympics. I want to be back for the Devils. I want him scoring for the Devils. Like, don't you see that, Alan, sometimes? It's like, oh, but everybody says he'll be ready for Team Canada. Yeah. He'll play.
Right.
I'm sorry. I think it's important. I understand the logic of it, and I will probably watch because I'm that guy. But right now, as we sit on January 29th, I'm way more excited about these regular season games and how important they are for a lot of teams. I understand Rangers are out of it, so Anthony Pusick might have a different opinion because his team's out of it. And if I'm a Blackhawk fan or if I'm a Vancouver Canuck fan, I might be looking forward to it. But I love the NHL. I love the NHL's regular season. It's not broken like in some sports. And this year more than any other, especially with the games being in Italy and then hearing that the arena's not ready and all, I'm good. I'm that guy because I'll watch. That's why I'm that guy. And I've always been very supportive of the Olympics. But this year, it just doesn't feel that important to me. And shutting down what's been a tremendous regular season to me is not going to be fun.
Wow.
It's a take, but I agree with you. That's the hardest part about it, and the difference in the NHL playing in the Olympics versus the NBA is the NBA plays in the summer, so it does no effect on the season. You don't really think about it. So when they are playing in places where the live game is going on and it's mid-afternoon here, like, you don't really seem to care. But you do worry about losing a player in the Olympics, especially if you have hopes that your team's going to be good. And I think that's a big part of it as well. I love that they're playing, but I don't want my guy to get hurt. Or don't rush back from an injury just so you can play in the Olympics when you probably wouldn't have rushed back if it was a regular season.
No,
right?
that's been happening a lot too. And listen, guys, that's why I said I'm that guy, because I'll be watching and I'll find myself getting into it. And if it ends up being Canada, U.S. like it was the Four Nations, it might be a home run. But it also could be Sweden and Finland, and no one's going to care.
Right.
And we're all twiddling our thumbs waiting for the damn regular season to start back up again.
Yeah.
And then you'll come back and go, oh, well, it's a big game tonight for the Islanders, but, I'm just trying to think of who could be out there because it won't be Sorokin. There's no Russian team. But you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, but the Devils, the Devils are going to need it. Oh, but Jack's not going to play the first couple of games back because his knee was sore because he blocked a shot against Sweden. And these important games coming out of the break, he might be like, those are the things that are going to be accentuated if it ends up being, Switzerland versus Latvia in the final. But if it ends up being Canada and the USA and you get a great game like you did back in the day with the Four Nations, it could be looked upon a lot differently. But I just feel like people that are really into this regular season are not looking forward to this break.
Well, let's hope that it is everything you said it could be, because what we saw last year with Four Nations was so much better, but it also helped that those games were, of course, here
Dude,
in North America.
Those games are prime time.
Yeah, but Don, I wouldn't call you that guy, but I like the accountability. You're following the lead from Mikal Bridges last night, and I absolutely love it. I have that guy. It's an obvious one. It's my ability to bring back a conversation that we were having yesterday so we can include Peter in this.
Okay.
And so that guy.
What'd I miss?
That guy is Bill Polian.
Oh, yeah.
So we can't get the story straight now, right? We just can't get it straight. So first, he tells Don Van Natta that he can't remember with 100% certainty if he voted for Bill Belichick to be in the Hall of Fame. And Peter, I know this is nothing breaking news now because Bill Belichick will not be in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot head coach, despite 6 championships and everything else on his resume. And the story as it goes, for those who might not have seen this, at ESPN had the story, is simply that there were some people in the voting process that had a discussion and some indications where Polian was the one that was pushing this, saying, he should serve penance and wait a year because of Spygate and Deflategate. And that's, again, now you're having a God complex. So he first says that he can't remember. But what's weird is that he also did an interview with SI. And at SI, he said, that's totally and categorically untrue. And the quote, I voted for him, end quote. Which do we believe? Are you changing your story over the criticism? Is anybody going to have the sack to step forward and say, you know what? Like, in a way, Don, as I was thinking about this, and Peter, again, you haven't had a chance to have a take on this, but it's like, can't somebody who said, I don't think he should have been in, just step forward and say, you know what? I don't think he should have been in. You guys can all disagree with me, but I think when you preside over something like Spygate, that is something that is it's a mark on the game. He got punished for it by the league, which shows you it was pretty serious, and we need to acknowledge it. Just have the stones to say that, but no one will. But Polian kind of misremembering. You're being that guy, man. Either you are.
Well, now
or
he's
you
the
aren't.
face. He's the face now of the cowardice around this whole thing. And you guys know,
bad look.
I have no love for Bill Belichick, none whatsoever. He throttled my team 52-7. I'll never forget it. I thought he could be a bad sport. Thought he was a nozzle with the media. Thought he's made a complete fool out of himself the last 2 years with this 16-year-old girlfriend, or 21, whatever the hell she is. The whole thing, I think, has just been. He's not covered himself in glory the last couple of years. There's no question about it. It has not been a great post-run. Tom Brady goes to Tampa, wins the Super Bowl. Brady looks like a complete buffoon chasing around a college-age girlfriend. The whole thing's been weird. He goes to North Carolina. Alan, we had a moment where he thought it's going the right direction. Then he'll get bombed the next week. It's not happening. It's terrible. All of that being said, Spygate, name it. They're all that guy for this guy not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. It does not change the fact that, in my opinion, I think he's hands down the best in-game football coach of all time. We watched him do it over and over again. Guys, that Patriots team, it varied in levels of talent. I don't think at any point it was the most talented Super Bowl teams we've ever seen. Those teams were brilliantly coached. And I would still argue to this day, even though Brady went and got the ring without Belichick, that without Bill Belichick, there is no Tom Brady. I truly believe that. To me, whatever the reason was that they decided, you better have a damn good one. And you're right, Alan, we should know what it is for someone who's been that great to not get in as a first ballot. It's a disservice to your game. He is the coaching face of the modern era of football, and you made him look like a yo-yo. Now, normally, for Eli Manning not to go in first time around, 2-time Super Bowl champion, whatever.
Yeah.
But this is the greatest coach of the modern era, period, and maybe, and I think many would argue, the greatest to ever do it. To me, the whole thing is that guy.
Now, just to add to it, there was one member of the media who was a voter representing the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a Kansas City Star columnist, Vay Gregorian. He said he did not vote for Bill Belichick. But he said it was not to do with Spygate and all that other stuff. And he said that, there was this idea that people were trying to talk other voters into doing things. He said none of that stuff ultimately influenced my vote. That's what he said. What he said, the reason why he didn't vote was because he said, duty-bound to vote for the richly deserving seniors who most likely won't ever have a hearing again as more senior candidates enter the pool and fresh cases get made for others. And he said, Belichick is inevitable soon, as he should be. But he said, at the risk of contradicting my own vote, really, he shouldn't even have to wait. And he understands why people are offended. He wrote this column in the Kansas City Star. He said that he felt more compelled by what I perceive to be the last chances and looming lost causes within the system as we have it, a system I hope the Hall will see fit to change now. So his explanation for not giving him the vote was, as we were talking about yesterday, Don, that it's like, well, he's probably going to get in. I want to give these other guys votes because they might not have a chance to get in later.
It's reasonable.
Listen, now, is that the right way to do this, though?
No.
Because it affects someone else.
Don't you think, Don, everyone votes, everyone has their own way of voting and their own way of deciding when is appropriate, when is not. I don't know that we're allowed to decide and sort of be the moral police on when you're supposed to vote for someone. If he feels we're going to lose these people, then I understand wanting to vote for them. At least,
and they deserve,
Don, at least
he felt like they deserve to stay in it. You know what I mean?
He has a reason. And he's putting his name with it. I don't hate that, Don.
All right. No, well, the fact that he came forward, I think you got to show some respect. Good. It shows you the system's broken, that somebody would have to do that in order to get Elsie Greenwood into the Hall of Fame or Roger Craig into the Hall of Fame. Those were a couple of people that he had mentioned that he didn't want to get passed over. And he figured, I'll sacrifice the guy not getting into the first ballot. But are you telling me the other 10 that voted against him all did it for the same reason? Well, all right, so that explains one of the 11.
There you go. Right.
But if all 11 came forward and said that was the reason, I'd say, well, we got to figure something else out. But for some reason, I don't think that'll be an issue when Tom Brady's up, who's considered the greatest quarterback of all time. But when the greatest head coach of all time, who wasn't nearly as likable as Tom, all of a sudden it became an issue. All right. I didn't expect it to be unanimous. There's always going to be one or two guys. Yeah. That's why you don't have to go in at 100%.
Right.
But what's the excuse to the other 10? Well, and why aren't they coming forward?
The Belichick 10 need to step forward.
So it sounds to me the majority of those 10 probably did it because they were persuaded by Polian, who looks like a really bad guy.
But the easy thing for them all to do now is just follow what Gregorian said and just say, no, I felt the same way. All right, well, that's that guy Thursday. This was a good one.
That was
really
nice.
Don put himself on the stand.
That was a lot. Don't you think it's a great time, though, in this segment for us to hear Don's Bill Polian impression? If you guys have that before Alan wraps up?
Yeah, don't make me do it because my voice is not 100%.
No, Don can't do it. It has to be found.
All right. We have calls to get to, of course, 800-919-3776, and we certainly will get back to that conversation.
I know we do it every year.
But. Exactly, Donnie. Off of this, Eli Manning officially, again, another year, he's going to have to wait. How much longer is he going to have to wait? Should he wait? Or does he even belong in the Hall of Fame? That discussion coming up and more, so stay with us. And by the way, Peter, coming out of the next break, we have a song especially for you for your trip to Riyadh. So make sure you're make sure.
Well, this is my last segment. This is my last segment for today's show. So
which is why we're doing it here. Okay? Because it's fitting when you consider the time difference. Trust me on this. Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Welcome back to Yeah, That's a Pepper Thing. First up, we've got Harrison wrapping his Dr. Pepper in a tiny quilt so it feels at home. Oh, how tender. That's a Pepper Thing! And over to Becca, who's whispering affirmations to her can.
You're sweet. You're unique. You're the best thing I ever poured over ice.
She swears it makes it taste better. It's not a science thing, but it's a Pepper Thing! Why do they all do it? All for that sweet, delicious, truly one-of-a-kind taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper Thing!
For 100 days, I'm going to cross the 7 continents because the answers to everything important are out there at the edges of our world. I'm stepping into the unknown. Where are we going? To see our planet
This is amazing!
as it's never been seen before. From pole to pole.
Pole to Pole with Will Smith from National Geographic. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Show me the way.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
NBA fans don't just watch the game, they live it. So stream like you're courtside with NBA League Pass, your ticket to all the action. Watch your favorite team shine and catch the league's brightest stars and rising stars at the same time with multi-view on your favorite devices. From the plays you can't believe to the most live games and the drama that comes with it. If it happens on the court, it's happening on NBA League Pass.
Only select out-of-market games available. Blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Hey, New York and New Jersey. Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever. Meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
You know this song, Peter?
Midnight at the O.
Come on now. Midnight at the Oasis. Isn't that where you are? Isn't it midnight at the Oasis right now for you?
It is nearly 1 a.m. at the Oasis.
Well, it's after midnight at the Oasis then.
But the point is, it's late at the Oasis, okay?
It is very late at the Oasis. This was covered in a movie,
Alan,
wasn't it? Was this like was this in The Wedding Singer or something?
Let's
Midnight at
see.
the Oasis.
It was
It might
in
have been.
Lost in Translation.
thought I heard this like as one of the it was obviously a whatever. It doesn't matter.
Prom scene in America.
American Pie. Maybe that's what it was. All I know is that song was for you because you're staying up past midnight for us to be part of the show, and we thank you for it.
Well, I enjoyed it. I'm going to be back on again tomorrow at the top of the show.
Peter, why are you in Saudi Arabia again?
Anthony, I'm so glad because if you have ESPN Unlimited, Anthony, that means on Saturday at 2:00 you can watch the Royal Rumble on ESPN Unlimited. Now, the countdown show, which I'm on, starts at 12 noon. You can catch that on ESPN Unlimited or on YouTube, wherever you feel like getting it. And then we roll right into the Rumble, which is, Anthony, as you know, in the eyes of many, as exciting an event as exists on the wrestling calendar. Some put it above Mania.
So we tried.
It's like that.
We tried. We equated, obviously, Don and Alan, not as big wrestling fans or fans at all.
Not quite.
Equated the Super Bowl to WrestleMania. And Jacob and I tried to comp what the Royal Rumble was. I said divisional round of the NFL weekend.
I believe it's conference championship weekend.
And it doesn't have to be football. Just what is the comp for it? Where do you comp it?
It's one of the best questions you've ever asked.
Oh wow!
I tend to go with Jacob and it being like conference championship, but it also, there's some people who would call it the Super Bowl just because the way it's done with the 30 entrants in each match and the countdown and the surprises and you don't know who's showing up. It's different. Like, it is the one event that brings people back. Like, even when me and Ballard used to live together, none of those guys who I lived with, Ballard and Elliott, they didn't have any interest in wrestling. But when the Royal Rumble would come on, they'd be like, we watch Royal Rumble? Let's drink. Let's all drink some beers and watch the Rumble. Like, it's just, like, you could have not watched wrestling for 20 years and you'll enjoy it.
Is it like March Madness? Is it your NCAA tournament? Not, obviously it doesn't take 6 weeks to complete, but it's sort of like, I haven't watched college basketball all year, but I'm watching this, right? Is that kind of what it is? So it's not a Super Bowl,
good comp,
right? Because Mania is a Super Bowl.
Because WrestleMania has to be the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's the culmination.
But the NCAA tournament, like March Madness,
I like that.
That's the next biggest event that we have, right?
Yeah, no, I like that as a take. In fact, you can hear me talk about it tomorrow at 9:15 on Get Up. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm warming up the seat for Alan Hahn as he gets ready for his vaunted return to Get Up in the second half of the season.
Next week. And by the way,
I want to
Don,
get on Get Up one day.
And on your chest. You can. Why couldn't you?
I got on first. I got a what would they call it? It was like a I feel sorry for you moment in First Take.
We all did.
Well, no.
What? No.
It was a mercy book.
Oh, come
on first. No, it was because they were doing all the radio shows. So Michael got to do it, and it was Rick, Peter, and me. They took three people because they're like, we can't have just Don, and we can't have just Don or Rick or just Don and Peter because Don looks awful and his takes are even worse. But we have to have him on. He's been at the station for 20 years.
Were you repugged Don at this time? Because Don does.
You know
not
what?
Look awful.
I might have just
repugged Don.
Oh, there he is. He couldn't have been repugged
Don. Whatever it was,
I don't know.
Peter. They felt sorry for me. They had to put me on. But they put me on with two other radio. It was the only first take that had multiple radio hosts.
No, they were doing that back then because they had me.
One
Keyshawn,
person. It was just Michael K. or just whoever. They put three. They had to have two buffers for me.
Well, we're gonna. That's fine. I'll tell you what.
I don't need them. I don't want them. I'll say no. If you want to put me on, I'm letting Bristol know now.
Call.
Unavailable.
Okay.
This started. Hold on. This segment started. All started, Alan, with him going, I want to go on Get Up, and it ended with him going, you know what? I don't need
want it.
Let Bristol know I'm unavailable. But I don't have to worry about that. They would never put me on.
Set.
Because I'm a hockey guy.
You gave him the Heisman already.
16 years doing Jets.
All right, so you don't want to be on First Take, but you don't want to be on Get Up? We can get you on Get Up. Little bit of we can once we get into the teeth of the hockey. Maybe you know what?
See,
Olympic
Peter,
hockey.
Did you hear?
How about
Alan?
that?
Did you hear?
He did it again.
Did you hear
what did I do?
You're one of them. That's the problem, Alan. You're one of them.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh, well, we'll get you on.
Watch your mouth.
Because
when it
starts
I'm
to
not
get
on
deeper in
during
the
football
hockey
season. Well, it's getting
if Don has no other takes on anything else.
Watch your mouth. No. Watch your mouth. Because the same thing happens with the NBA. I have to sit and watch football on that show forever, and now they're calling me. Now they want me if the Super Bowl's over. Oh,
that is true.
How many dates could you give
us? They don't bring Allen in for just football. There's always basketball there.
Yeah, man. So it's the same thing.
They're bringing him in.
But it's the same thing.
They're bringing him in.
And now, with the Olympics, it's a perfect time for Don Juan LaGreca to come on and talk about hockey.
I love hockey.
Happening in the middle of the day.
I'm a hockey guy. But when I get described as a hockey guy, it's at the level of you suck insult to me. When I'm referred to that way, oh, Don, he's a hockey guy. You're basically, the way I hear it is, you suck at what you do.
Well, Don, how about this? I'm on a sports talk show, and the people will call up and go, and Don, the way you love hockey, and Peter and wrestling. It's like I don't even watch sports.
No, you should. That is an insult. You should take it as an insult. No, it is an insult.
I do. You know what, Don? I'm skipping tomorrow on your behalf.
Oh, protest.
Let him know.
He won't be there. You'll be there.
I'll be there, guys.
Absolutely.
No.
It's bright and early. Bright-eyed and
Bristol, these are just jokes.
Ain't early for you.
We're just kidding.
These are jokes.
Well, it's great to have you back, Peter. Enjoy the rest of the night. Get some sleep. And we'll watch you on Get Up tomorrow, and we'll look forward to having you back on the show tomorrow.
I'll be around at least for Fraud Friday. I love that.
Well, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. But coming up, we reset. We got some new stuff on the Giannis front with the Knicks and with other teams in the NBA as well. So we have that. We do have to get into the Eli Manning conversation as well, as we did talk more of the Hall of Fame fallout after Bill Belichick doesn't get in first ballot. But it's 2 years now that Eli's waiting, so we'll discuss that. The Yankees and the Rangers and Panarin are in a situation now where Artemi Panarin can talk to teams and decide where he wants to go next. So the Rangers are at that place one more time as they play the Islanders again tonight, which is coming up right after our show. Some more to get to in the 5 o'clock hour. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This Saturday on The Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. No relief on the Whitestone Expressway southbound in Queens, right before Northern Boulevard by 20th Avenue. It's a crash blocking 2 lanes. Traffic is backed up across the span of the Whitestone Bridge. You're jammed from the Bronx side. Broken down truck picked up on the outbound Gowanus over by Fort Hamilton Parkway in Brooklyn. Still have some solid slowdowns going back onto the westbound BQE. After that, once you're on the Staten Island side of the Verrazano, you're packed there heading over to the West Shore. Best of it's the outbound George Henry Hudson. That's about it. West Side Highway northbound, some solid slowdowns from the 70s. Inbound George, about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 15 to 20. Outbound Helena run you 20 to 30. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
5:03 in the big city. It is just Don and Hahn now, as Peter is probably off to sleepy time. Sleepy time Bobo. But he needs to because he's got a lot to do as he's several hours away over in Riyadh. But it's me and Don with you. 800-919-3776. And Donnie, why don't we, before we get back into conversations on all things sports, do a game time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey.
Good
because, and I warn you to save your voice,
when
it's game time,
it's Tully time.
See, I like that. That's actually
pretty good.
That's a little Quiet Storm, late-night radio voice.
Little Barry White.
Barry White, yes. The Rangers and Islanders, why not do it again? Why not run it back?
Yeah, if you're the Islanders, definitely.
Hell yeah. Tonight, this game now at MSG tonight. Coverage immediately follows us on 880 at 6:30. That's right, we're a 6:30 vehicle. So we'll have an Anthony Pusick ENN, and then we're out at 6:30 for Rangers hockey. And Don LaGreca's at the Rock. Why? Because the Devils host the Predators at 7. And, of course, you can hear Don and the whole crew on that broadcast at 7 on MSG as well. The Nets, they visit the Nuggets in Denver. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
A little shout out to an old friend that I have not spoken to in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
But driving back from the Devil game on Tuesday, I flipped the Net game on. And the game against Phoenix. It was a good game, and I listened to a good portion.
Ending.
I was driving home, and I guess Chris Carino, maybe he was doing Peacock, I'm not sure, was not doing the game. And Bob Husler was doing the game, and he did a wonderful job. I've always been a big fan of Bob, so it was cool to hear him in Phoenix calling the Nets and the Suns on the radio. That was cool.
Classic voice. While we're doing it, by the way, because Tyler Murray, the radio voice of the Knicks, has been doing so much of the TV stuff lately, because of scheduling, Pat O'Keefe been filling in on the radio side with Monica McNutt, and we love Pat O'Keefe, and he's been phenomenal as well. And speaking of the Knicks, Don, let's just bring this conversation back because there's more. The story with Giannis now with a week to go before the trade deadline. Next Thursday is the trade deadline, and the biggest name, of course, the biggest fish to catch, if possible, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the reporting is that the Bucks are now ready to listen to offers. In fact, they are currently listening to offers. And yes, everybody, the Knicks are very much involved in these conversations, and they are seeing if they can come out with a deal to bring in arguably one of the best players in the NBA, a top 3 player for sure, and a perennial MVP candidate. And Shams Charania, who does a lot of the reporting, of course, for ESPN these days on SportsCenter, he gave us the latest on the Giannis situation.
There's 4 teams that have emerged as the strongest suitors so far in the process for Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's the New York Knicks, Miami Heat, Golden State Warriors, and Minnesota Timberwolves. But it all starts with the price point. And my understanding is the Bucks, in all trade conversations around Giannis, have asked for a blue-chip young player and or a surplus of draft picks. They are getting some aggressive offers right now that include all-star caliber players, multiple draft picks. So they're going to sift through offers this week, next week, and see, does anyone rise to that threshold? The Bucks have also indicated to teams that they're not in a rush. They could handle this in the offseason as well if they so choose, but there's a double-edged sword there with that as well, because Giannis will have a little bit more control come the offseason, because next season will be essentially an expiring contract. He has a player option in 2027, so that means that any team that trades for him has to know whether he will sign a long-term extension.
So the key part there you heard at the end, Don, is what I've been saying all along, is that really the thing that everybody really wants to do is wait till the summer to do this. The Bucks are willing to wait till then. The Knicks would probably prefer to wait till then. But Giannis doesn't want to wait till then. And so you want to see is, can we get the best possible offer now from somebody that might not be in the running in the summer because of what Shams says at the end there. He'll then be on an expiring contract. He'll be due a 4-year extension of like $274 million that he might tell whoever acquires him, don't bother, I'm not going to sign it, I'll walk because I don't really want to be here. But if you know you can get him for a year and a half, which includes this season and playoffs and at least 2 playoff runs, then you probably do it just hoping that something works out in the short term.
Right.
So that's why this still feels, as much as there's smoke, this still feels like it could be all or it could be nothing by the time we get to the deadline, but that doesn't mean the Knicks shouldn't be involved in it.
No, I get that. It's just all of this is being driven by Giannis. You have said it probably behooves the Bucks to wait till the summer. Definitely behooves the Knicks to wait till the summer. But it doesn't look like Giannis wants to be a part of this Milwaukee team any longer, even though, according to him, he's going to be out for at least the next month, and there's not much basketball left for him to play in Milwaukee. If he wanted to, they can just shut him down and not play at all.
Yep. I think that's still on the table, too.
Right. So it's not like he's going to have to suffer, the boos and the awkwardness of playing in front of the fans that he wants to leave or be traded away from. But I just think the Knicks are in the catbird seat. He wants to play for the Knicks. Why should the Knicks lower themselves to chase like everybody else when it would, I think, do damage to a team that could still make it to the finals anyway? If you bring in Giannis and he is hurt for the next month, what's that going to do? Not only do you lose the pieces you'd have to send to not only the Bucks but to another team to be able to get the assets to make the trade, you might not have the guy you traded for the first month after the trade deadline, and then what is that going to do to your chances of being able to make the playoffs and B, make a run? Where I think this team, who has won 4 straight, in a position to at least be a 2 seed, I would rather try to run with what you got. And if he wants to be a Knick, show me something, hang around, and so that we could trade for you during the offseason. Why do I have to lower myself to all the other teams who I think I'm above? Maybe with the exception of Minnesota, that I'm better than, and it's the one place that Giannis wants to be. So I feel like I just sit back and I'd wait. And if I lose him, I lose him. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to be on my terms, not his.
Yeah,
and certainly not the Bucks.
And it seems like that is the general consensus from a lot of fans. We'll get back to the calls at 800-919-3776 in a moment on this because everybody has something to say about it. But my good friend Tim Bontemps is on the NBA Today. And so the question, of course, is if the Knicks are going to get him or trying to get him, what do they have to trade to get Giannis Antetokounmpo?
It's going to be complicated. They don't have much in draft assets. They'd have to move Karl Towns and likely some other key players to be able to make a deal happen. But if the Knicks can get Giannis Antetokounmpo, expect them to try to do so, pair him with Jalen Brunson, try to end their own half-century championship drought.
So they don't have a lot. And that's, I think, part of the problem, Don, right? Because if they had the pieces it took to do it, it'd probably have gotten done. And that's why now what you don't want to do is make desperate moves, as you said, because you feel like you're at that you're at that moment of truth as a front office with all the moves you've made to build this roster and to become a team that's a contender, starting with getting – well, really it started with getting Julius Randle.
Right.
But you got Jalen Brunson. You got a couple of more Villanova guys that gave you some of that winning DNA that you desperately needed. And then you turned Randle into a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, an all-NBA player who's considered one of the best big men in the league. Now, he's not having a great year this year, but he was very good last year. So now it's, okay, can you take the next step with this group as currently constituted and maybe make some subtle moves by next week's trade deadline to just, a couple more dogs on this team, whatever you need that you feel like you're lacking in smaller pieces rather than go for the mega piece and which would make the bigger headlines. It's easy for us to say, Don, no, I'm walking away, but it's hard when, you're a front office, you've done all this stuff, and you are – I've said this before. I was at an event with Leon Rose in the summer, and he was honored, and somebody handed him like an award, and he said, it was a line that I'll never forget. He the first thing he said was, "The next time somebody hands me a trophy, I want it to be Adam Silver."
Right.
And we all know what that means. He wants him to hand to Larry O'Brien. So he's obsessed with winning a championship, and trading for Giannis could get you closer. But as you said, Don, it could also cost you time and maybe blow up a chance to get there with the group you've already built.
When I hear fans, and we heard a couple of them yesterday, I don't want Riley to steal him away from us. We've got to jump in now. We have to. No, that sounds desperate to me. That sounds like the old Knicks, where nobody wanted to play for you as a clown show in the front office, and you were looking for somebody to change the face of the organization. You are run well. You are a really good basketball team. Hey, you're not a championship caliber team, but you might be headed that way. And I'm not saying they couldn't use Giannis. Of course they could use Giannis. But let's not act like the old Knicks who are trying to get back to relevancy or trying to get up from getting knocked down. This right now is a team that's had its problems and still is the second best team in the Eastern Conference. And the only thing standing in their way right now is a team that they handled last year in the postseason. Mm-hmm. And in my eyes has not
by 30 when they played them this year.
Oh, I get it. And so did the Cavaliers when they played them in the regular season. What happened to the Cavaliers last year in the postseason?
No, they will.
You know better than I do. You follow this day in, day out. The Pistons feel like the Cavs from last year. A really good regular season team playing with a chip on their shoulder, but do they have what it takes? Do the Knicks have what it takes? I don't know. But compared to all the other teams in the Eastern Conference, I like their chances, Alan. I do. And I don't like their chances if they make this deal and Giannis is sitting in a suit watching games for the first month as a Knick.
That's the problem. Yeah, to me, the injury, the calf injury, is the biggest problem to me. That's the biggest concern to me, and it's a reasonable one to have if you're trying to make one of these, for no better way to put it, gun-to-your-head kind of trades in season rather than saying, hey, listen, we want to get you, but we don't want to do it in the middle of the season. Why don't you get healthy, sit out the rest of the year, and let's revisit this in the off season. And if that's got to be part of the conversation, but we don't know for now. There's a week to go. We'll know pretty soon. Let's get some more calls in here, Donnie. 800-919-3776. Let's go. You know what? Joe in Fort Lee wants to throw you some flowers here, Donnie.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Joe?
Hello?
What's up,
Hi,
Joe?
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Good.
Good. And yourself?
I can't hear you very well. Hold on.
Oh.
I'm in the car. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Okay, yeah. First of all, I just wanted to say, Alan, I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I love hearing you talk about basketball, number one.
Thank you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
We hear you perfect.
I do. Don, I've been friends with your producer, Roland Dratch, for 50 years. We grew up together, right on the same block, did the whole wiffle ball, stickball thing and everything. And I wanted to defend you. He sent me pictures of you having sushi because Peter made a comment that it might have been fast food sushi last week when you guys were in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're in Vancouver.
Yeah. So I just wanted to defend you in front of Peter. He's not here, unfortunately, but Roland sent me a picture of you enjoying your sushi. Big fan of the show, Don. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll find out. I'm a teacher. I've been coaching high school football for for over 30 years, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be finding out if I'm an assistant coach in Hawthorne, your hometown.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool, man. Well, good luck with that. That sounds like it would be pretty cool. Hawthorne Bears, that's the name of the team in Hawthorne. The Cubs were the senior league team that I played for, and then in high school they were the Bears.
I like it.
So, good luck
You start
on
out
the
as
job
a Cub
hunt.
before you become a Bear.
And Roland Dratch is the best in the business.
Salted.
I love working with him. He's got nothing but nice things to say about Allen because he's worked a few Knicks games.
Yep.
As a stage manager in the postseason, he is terrific. There are a lot of reasons why Roland is the best in the business. A lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda.
Oh, of course.
It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $189 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SM844681. MSRP $29,075. Zero security deposit ends 2/2/26.
Such great VIN. If he wasn't a nice guy, there's no way that call would have gone beyond the second time of "Can you hear me?" You know that.
We probably kept it a little longer, but I heard he had nice things to say about Roland, and I wanted him to get it in. But it was tough. But he couldn't hear us.
I give you great credit for showing restraint, but I could see you seething. Javier in Queens. Javi, what's happening, Javi? And we can hear you. I know we can hear you.
Guys, can you hear me? What's up? So, Allen, now that it's Allen's going to be on TV season, and Spike is now ramping up the calls about the Knicks, it is safe to talk NBA and Knicks. I'm very excited.
Me too.
When it comes to Giannis, Allen, you can confirm. I've been asking for the Knicks to trade for this guy even before they traded for Cat. I'm very interested in the prospect of it. I would not gut the team for him. We already had an example of this when they traded for Melo. They gutted the team. Dolan got involved, and it ended up not being it ended up not being as good as it could have been. And because of that, I think you don't settle. And when it comes to Cat, I was telling Jacob, Cat's really frustrating. Like, Cat is like, a partner, a girlfriend, a wife that's amazing at one thing, but you can't trust her, and it's very hard to get off, But like,
it's the 5:15
without
whistle.
in order for them to move on with Cat, they can be good, but they need to be able to rely on him, and he has not been that reliable this season. The trust is just not there. So bring on Giannis for me. Just don't gut the team.
Gotcha, Javi. I mean, and the Melo reference is a good one. By the way, Don, the 5:15 train, that was 3 minutes late today.
Yeah, we can't nail down. It was in the 4 o'clock hour on Tuesday.
It was very early the other
I'm
day.
going to have to talk to somebody.
But there is something to be said, though, about that Carmelo Anthony trade that James Dolan has openly talked about. And he has said that he vowed never to get involved again. And he didn't, to a point where people had to beg him to get back into the game when Phil Jackson was completely dismantling the franchise. And it was like, please, this is when they need you to step in. And he finally ended up moving on from Phil Jackson. But he has left Leon Rose alone when it comes to player personnel and building a team. But I know how I'd be if I owned a team and there was this guy and what he could mean for the team.
Well,
I'd at least want to be in the room going, what are we doing? What are we doing? I know it's human nature to want to be involved.
But, Dolan did go on record saying they're not going to make a big move. So is he thinking the way I am? Is he playing coy? We'll see. But rumors are they are involved in this. So they're not taking my advice. They are making the phone calls.
They're talking.
But that doesn't mean they'll get something done, and they could still step up and go, we kicked the tires, but we like our team, so.
Which is, again, what you said earlier in the show, which I loved. And you're so against the Hollywood script sports story thing of, we believe in you.
Right.
We're not going to do, But that's essentially, you could go through a process where the team is on edge going, are we going to make this trade? Or who's going to go? And they could be on edge. And then you walk in that room. You go, you know what, guys? We spent a whole week, and we talked about it. And every time we saw what we were going to have to give up, we kept saying, no, we don't want to do it because we believe in you. And you don't deserve to have this team broken up. And we want you to know that we said no because we believe in you. And what does that do to the room? Does it galvanize the room? Does it take the pressure off?
How does it not? How does it not galvanize these guys, especially Cat, who admitted that the trade rumors have kind of gotten to him. And listen, it still could happen in the offseason, but to know he's a Knick for the rest of the season with a team that's got a chance to make a run.
Yeah.
And with all their issues, there they sit as the second-best team in the Eastern Conference.
Right,
So,
where they've been all year, really. I mean, they just slipped for a couple of days, but they got themselves right back to where they were, and they still got to prove that they're good enough, tough enough to beat a team like the Pistons. But you're right, it is a different animal in the postseason. On the other New York team, or the other team in the Garden, Rich and Comac wants to discuss with us. Rich.
Hey, guys. Just wanted to ask Don a question. I guess I could ask Alan a question, too. I'm so used to just asking Don the hockey questions. I'm not sure if you remember, Alan was beat writer for the Islanders.
Oh, sure.
Take a drink, everybody.
We know.
Also, I've never seen a team test a goal horn so much where they can't score goals. Maybe they should dial that back a bit.
But it's well deserved. I mean, they got to get it going.
While I was covering hockey, I did get one of these.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So
good for you, man.
In case anybody was wondering.
Cool. Question is about Panarin. Where do you guys think he's going?
Well, it sounds like he would be cool to go out west. So it feels like, listen, Colorado, even though they lost last night, as Peter says, they're playing with their food. They're the best team in the NHL. But Dallas, they might have to play Minnesota in the first round, and that could be a first-round exit or a team that could win a Stanley Cup. I think Dallas could be a destination. I think Minnesota. He's a free agent at the end of the year, so I really don't know why Panarin wouldn't want to go to any contender. I mean, heck, go to Edmonton. Right, get a chance to play with Draisaitl and McDavid, maybe win a Stanley Cup, and then go sign as a free agent at the end of the year. Right? I mean, I don't know why Panarin would have an issue with any team. They missed the playoffs last year. I feel like any of those Western teams have a chance to make a run. You're hearing Tampa. That's a team that is competing with Detroit for the best record in the division.
They always find a way.
Eventually, Florida's going to figure it out, and they're going to get healthy, and they're going to make a run. But Tampa's a very, very good team.
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers can throw their hat in the ring. I'm going to say Dallas or Tampa.
What can you? Here's the better question: if you're a Ranger fan, what you want to know, because Panarin's going to want an extension and all that stuff, right? So whoever's taking him on is not taking him on for a rental, I imagine. What are you getting if you're the Rangers here? What are you getting? Like, what's the best they can get out of this?
Yeah,
that you feel like, all right, like breaking up this team, at least the retool is really underway. Because this might be your most valuable piece that you are willing to trade, right?
It is, but it's so hard to get real true value for a rental. But this is one of the great free agent signings the Rangers have ever had. I mean, his numbers, he had a 120-point season one year. Now, he hasn't been great in the postseason, but he did score that goal against the Penguins that set up that conference final run in 22. You're getting a really good player, and a really good player on the power play, too. But, it's probably picks and a prospect. I can't imagine it's going to be a huge haul, but it'll be bigger than anybody else that you could move. Right? And, if Zibanejad Wade is no trade clause, because of the contract and the money that might have to be eaten to make it work, might not get back as big a package as Panarin can. Adam Fox, that's a different story, but that hurts a lot more than giving up a player that you've already told, I'm not going to re-sign you.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they would get in return, but you got to do it, right? This team is going nowhere. They're in last place in the Eastern Conference. You've already told them you're not re-signing here. So whatever it is, it's better than nothing. And I think there's going to be some – if you get teams that are trying to acquire him that could win a Stanley Cup, you're not going to get nothing. You're going to get something pretty – significant, I would think, but
he is talking extension with these teams also.
He could.
If that's what's taking so long.
Right. So that means that I would think Dallas is a possibility, and I don't have the salary cap ramifications in front of me. They just gave Rantanen a big deal in Dallas. What is Tampa's maneuverability financially?
Look, there was San Jose rumors today.
Well, listen.
Wow.
San Jose's tough because. It's still, I think they're a couple of years away.
I think you'd want to go there.
But to play with Celebrini, I think that's a really cool, underrated hockey market.
Rangers West.
It is.
Wenberg, Gaudreau, Reeves.
Yeah, I mean, those are Rangers for a minute, guys.
I know.
Those aren't like...
Barclay Goodrow is the reason this all started,
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
you're
if you
right.
believe the lore. So
All right, so what about, Anthony, since you're chiming in, and I love that you are.
Hello.
You gave me a little noise in my ear when I said probably the biggest return they can get or the biggest asset they have to trade, that they're willing to trade. Why did you make that noise? You don't agree?
I think that there's a chance that people value Vincent Trocheck. Now, again, if a team is talking extension with Artemi Panarin, that is going to give the most return. But if you're talking about guys that are rentals, and Trocheck would not be, I believe he still has term. That is a possible second center, third center for a cup contending team that wins faceoffs and can kill penalties if they want to. Anywhere, and he can work on the power play. That is a very valuable asset.
That's
and
why
with
he's in the Olympics.
And term, yeah. And a team that could use a center is that Minnesota Wild team with the USA GM Bill Guerin. So that is a guy that I think is intriguing, and you've been hearing it from all of the particulars and all the people that you always hear from Don and Allen saying that is a guy that is of interest to people because there's not a lot of guys with term that are on the market. That's the interesting part here for the Rangers. They may be in sell mode, and there may be other people, but we're talking about a retool for this Rangers team, and they're going to give up a lot of guys for term or guys that are younger that may not be part of the future that other teams aren't giving, which is why they're in such a prime position to do this retool now.
And that Rangers report brought to you by Anthony Pusick, the best producer we have here at ESPN New York.
Wow, nice.
Coming up, Damien Woody joins us. What does he think? So we heard from Booger McFarland about Eli Manning and his Hall of Fame worthiness. What does D. Wood think? And also, of course, he's going to sound off about the Belichick stuff as well.
And a detailed critique of Napoleon Dynamite, I'm sure.
I knew that was coming. Boy, if he says he saw it and Peter isn't here.
Oh, man. Boy, do I hope he saw it.
Now I'm really rooting for it. So, did he or did he not? D. Wood, next. ESPN New York.
This Saturday on The Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Just no easy way to get around right now, and we still have this issue over in Queens, southbound Whitestone Expressway by 20th Avenue. It's a crash involving a tractor-trailer. Left lane is still blocked. You're backed up across the span of the Whitestone Bridge, packed there from the Bronx side. Not moving much on the Meadowbrook southbound in Nassau County. A broken down car in the left lane right before the Southern State. Solid ride there from the Northern. Better off using the southbound Wantagh heading into the area. No easy way to the outbound George, and especially tough on the southbound Egan. Crash in the west 230s. You're backed up onto southbound 87 in Yonkers. Inbound George about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln and Holland tunnels are running about a half hour each. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Listen, I know the mentality. You try to play through pain and walk it off. Push through one more day. But when it comes to neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, that's a losing game. That's when you call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain. Dr. Shaw is one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he focuses on non-surgical solutions that get real results. No cuts, no downtime, no dependence on pain meds. He builds you a custom game plan for you so that you can move better, feel better, and live pain-free. Same day or next day appointments are available. Visit SandwellPain.com. Stop managing pain. Start beating it.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
All right, Don, I don't even think we don't want to waste any time here. Not with this very important guest that we have on now, with the very important question that you're just going to ask week after week. So
yes.
The great Damien Woody joins us right now. D Wood, it's Alan and Don. Peter is off because he's over with WWE in Riyadh, so he had to leave a little bit early on the show. So he can't be here to hear you break down Napoleon Dynamite for us.
So, yay or nay, and then we'll move on.
Well, I mean, since Peter's not here, it's like it really wouldn't do any good to really answer that question. We need everybody here to really answer that question.
All right, I know what the answer is.
We know.
We know. It's a little bit different.
We can't assume that, fellas. We can't I want to make sure that the whole gang is here so we can talk about it.
All right, that's fair. That is very fair.
Is it?
So the topic of conversation, I guess it's no real surprise. Eli's going to have to wait a third year before going in to the Hall of Fame. Do you think that Eli Manning's a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Yes, Eli Manning is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and after what we've seen this week as far as the Hall of Fame is concerned, nothing surprises me. But yes, Eli Manning is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
What makes him a Hall of Famer to you then? Because there has been an argument against it. Again, regular season numbers, especially record. The fact that while he did win 2 Super Bowls, there were some other years they didn't even make the playoffs. Like your careers did cross over. So what did you see in him that tells you that he belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I think Eli Manning's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. I mean, when you're able to go head-to-head against the Patriots dynasty and win twice, that to me, that alone in and of itself is going to probably put you in the Hall of Fame, man. So I know what people will say. I've had my doubts before in the past because I think it was like 2 or 3 separate times Eli Manning led the league in interceptions and, the amount of times the Giants have missed the playoffs. But, again, those Super Bowls and Super Bowl MVP, when we think of legacy, we think of moments, and Eli Manning has moments that I think people that will stand out for in history. And so that's my rationale for Eli Manning being in the Hall of Fame.
So what were your emotions when you heard that Bill Belichick's going to have to wait a year?
Listen, I was just in shock, to be honest with you. I thought it was I thought someone got hacked because I saw Schefter's tweet initially, and then some other people started their tweets started coming out. Don Van Natta, who works for us as well, and the more and more people started saying it. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? We're talking arguably the greatest coach in NFL history, and he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Well, if he's not a first ballot, then who the hell is? It just brings a mockery to the whole process, and hopefully this whole process will get it revised or whatever the case may be. But you can't, like, if you're the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you can't have something like this happen. It just makes the whole thing looks ridiculous.
You played for him. Make the case for him, besides the obvious stuff, the stuff that maybe we don't know about, D. Wood, that you got to see firsthand.
I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, he taught me more about the game of football than any coach I've ever been around. Smartest coach I've ever been around. More prepared than I've ever at any point in my career. I mean, listen, he just coached circles around people out there. And for everyone that says, what did he do without Tom Brady? We've heard that many times. He did draft Tom Brady and did develop Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't walk into the NFL a superstar. He was drafted. Tom Brady. I was there when Tom Brady was a fourth-string quarterback. Okay, and he developed and obviously Tom Brady contributed to that. But Bill Belichick contributed to his development as well and helping him turn into the quarterback that we all saw for that period of time. So listen, when you add it all up, not only his time with New England, but obviously his time with the New York Football Giants as a famed defensive coordinator. Come on, like there's no dispute that this man is the epitome of champion when it comes to the National Football League.
All right, let's talk about your other team, and that's the New York Jets. 9 assistant coaches let go over the last week. I mean, how rare is it, Damien, that you have that many coaches leave and the head coach stays?
It's rare. It's rare. It just, when I saw it, I'm like, wow. Like, how often? Think about this as a head coach. How often do you get an opportunity where you basically can just wipe the slate clean of your staff and then hire a whole new staff without you getting canned as well? And so this is a rare opportunity for Aaron Glenn. And I will say this, as much as we ridicule the Jets, and rightfully so, because a lot of stuff they bring on themselves, I will say that, sometimes when you've made a mistake and you don't let ego get in the way, like, oh, let's go another year, let's run it back. But when you recognize, like, this is not it, this is not working, I need to make a change, I got to give you your due. Now, with that being said, we know that next year's going to be the year. If there's not significant improvement, then more than likely the Jets are going to can the whole thing and start all over again.
With that in mind, D. Wood, and again, you have blood in the ground there. What's your level of concern for the franchise at this point? We're talking 15 years since they made the playoffs, and they just keep rolling through coaches and decisions that we all continue to facepalm about. And now, completely retooling your coaching staff, which now, like, you don't know who the hell the defensive coordinator really is. Haven't hired an offensive coordinator yet. What is your level of concern, just honest, sincere concern for whether or not this franchise is functioning properly anymore?
I mean, I'm concerned because I care about the franchise. Listen, man, I had a great time with the Jets franchise. The franchise has done right by me all these years, and so I want those guys to do well. But it's been so many things going on with the franchise that it's just like they've been, it's like they're throwing pies in their own face by some of the miscalculations and things that they've done over the year. And what my hope is, man, is just like we just need some competency. That's what you want to see. Like, can we see some competency from the organization? And listen, Aaron Glenn, this is why you're getting paid the big bucks. You're making changes to your staff. Hopefully you make the right changes. and hopefully this thing gets going in the right direction. And I think, listen, at the end of the day, where it all starts, until they find a quarterback, really nothing's going to change. You got to find a quarterback. You got to get somebody at that position that's going to play competent football and give you a chance week in and week out to be successful.
All right, we've got a little while. We're going to have you on next Thursday before the Super Bowl, but do you have any feeling right now as we sit, 8-9 days away from Seahawks and Patriots?
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I would say, if I had to pick right now, I'll probably lean towards Seattle, the way Seattle is playing. People will say, "Oh, look at the amount of points that their defense gave up to the Rams." Well, that's the third time they're playing a team within their own division. I think the Rams just uniquely know that Seattle Seahawks team, and Matthew Stafford is more than likely going to be the MVP of the league. So, with that aside, that defense is, you can make the case for it to be the best defense in the league. They're elite on all three levels. And Sam Darnold? I mean, I can't even speak enough, great things about his career arc and the importance of how guys' careers aren't linear. Like, sometimes you go to the peaks and valleys, and you got to get to the right organization that can nurture you and put you in the right position. And he's obviously done that in Seattle. And man, they got a really good ball club on both sides, in all three phases, to be honest with you. So I would say the early pick right now was Seattle, but New England, they got great defense. Drake May, who's probably going to be the runner-up in the MVP, and then Mike Vrabel, obviously the job that he's done, turn around a team that went 4-13.
Yeah, how about that? Just flipping around. That gives the Giants hope, doesn't it? You bring in a veteran, experienced, smart coach. You can take a 4-13 team and make them 13-4, right? Like, you can just flip it quickly. As long as you have the young quarterback, which New England did, Giants do, and you have a coach who knows what he's doing, which, again, you have in the Mike Vrabel, and with the Giants you have John Harbaugh. Like, am I crazy to at least try to make that parallel of Giant fans having hope with what they're seeing from the Patriots?
No, you're not crazy at all. I mean, it's happened. I mean, think about look at what happened in New England, okay? Look at what happened in Chicago.
Yeah.
Look what happened in Jacksonville. These are all organizations that were downtrodden, and then all of a sudden they just flipped it and turned it around and just took off like rocket fuel this year. I think more so than ever in the National Football League, there's a lot of parity in the league, and we're seeing these teams going from last place to first place. It can be done. It can be done, and I think that's part of the reason why you see these owners are more impatient than ever, because we're seeing it in real time.
It's perfect. Can I also add one more thing, D. Wood?
Sure.
Shedeur Sanders, Pro Bowl quarterback.
Oh boy.
Were you?
What about Shedeur?
He's a Pro Bowl quarterback now. You have to say that. You have to say from now on, the rest of his life, Pro Bowl quarterback Shedeur Sanders.
Listen, man. Listen, I will say this, man. Like, to me, this is not about disparaging Shedeur, more so than it's about make a mockery of the whole process.
Okay, that's yes.
That to me is like that. It's. I remember when the Pro Bowl actually meant something.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, now like the Pro Bowl is an absolute joke. So I'm not here to disparage Shedeur, because he's not the one that got picked to the Pro Bowl.
Right.
What happened? What about Trevor Lawrence? Look at the year Trevor Lawrence had. Trevor Lawrence is up for the MVP that the NFL put out there, but he's not even. He wasn't even the backup as far as the Pro Bowl is concerned.
Well, you know what?
Think about how crazy that is.
Oh, wait, did he say no or something? Why would they pass on him?
Nobody wants to play in a flag football game that you shouldn't even watch, Damien. Matter of fact, instead of watching the Pro Bowl, you should catch up on some movies you haven't seen.
Well, I will say this, Don. Like, we will definitely catch up, because that was a nice trap you tried to set right there. When Peter gets back, we'll talk about Napoleon Dynamite.
We look forward to it, D-Wood. We love you, man. Thanks,
Thanks,
so
man.
All right, take it easy, guys.
I was just saying in general that I would rather
that was
watch a
pretty
good
good,
movie
though.
than
No,
that.
I like that, though. That was pretty sneaky. That was good. All right, we have more calls to get to with you. 800-919-3776. And, Don, this show is almost over. Just like, football season's almost over. And when the trophy's raised, it can feel like the season is over. But on the ESPN app, it never really is, because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into, lots of hoops to watch. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN, all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today. Speaking of phone, we will get to the calls next on Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay, plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, commitment issues? No problem. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month forever, as in for life. Switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, you may experience slower speeds. Pay $25 a month as long as you stay on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, Trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-50 2.5S Select with all-wheel drive for $179 for 33 months. Or buy with 0.9% APR financing for 72 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. VIN SN379853. MSRP $33,425. Zero security deposit. APR at $14.27 per month per $1,000 financed. Ends 2/2/26.
2-2. Our good friend Kevin Weeks. We know Weeksy has his finger on the pulse of the NHL. He said, according to his sources, the following teams have expressed an interest in Panarin. There's a lot of them.
Okay.
All right. So the Ducks, the Kings, all the California teams, Ducks, Kings, and Sharks. The Golden Knights, Dallas Stars, the Utah, the Mammoth, right? The Avalanche, the Wild, the Kraken, Maple Leafs, of course, Hurricanes, Capitals, Lightning, and get ready for this, your New York Islanders.
All
wow.
I think every team that you mentioned, especially the Western teams, are all like playoff teams except the Kraken. The Kraken are interesting unless they think they can, they think they can make them an offer. They probably have some cap space.
Yeah.
And they desperately need offense. And that's a cool city. It's a great place to go play. But, in the Mammoth, they're trying to listen, they can use some offense too, and they're a playoff team trying to make a run. But Vegas is really interesting.
Yes, it is.
Because that is a team that can win the Cup. And if they add a Panarin.
Then he's a type of guy that probably would love Vegas.
And unlike the Central teams, where you got Colorado to deal with if you're Dallas or Minnesota, I mean, the Pacific is up there, right?
Yeah.
Edmonton, Vegas, the Kings are kind of, all those teams are interesting because all of them can go on a run and win that division. So that's why they would love to be able to add somebody like that.
How much would it shake things, though? Again, Matthew Darsh is making it clear, like he's going to be in on stuff. They're pretty happy with what they've gotten so far. They're already talking about, the message they wanted to send to the locker room and why they made the two deals they made. But those aren't really those don't shake the room. A Panarin deal would shake the room, and also doing a deal with the Rangers again, and a player of that caliber, that would be historic.
No, it would be a big deal.
Put the chances. Give me it, because for Panarin it makes sense. You don't have to leave. You don't have to move. That stuff. For the Islanders, I don't know if it makes sense because if you got to extend them, that might not be the best thing to do. But let's just give me a number, 1 to 10.
No,
magnitude of a trade if they were able.
Well, listen, the magnitude would be off the charts, but the chances of it happening, I think, are like single digits, right?
Yeah,
They've never made that kind of a significant deal. And the Islanders, who knows what they can do if they're able to add a Panarin? Because again, they're not a great offensive team either.
Right.
Carolina, kind of the same thing. They got real nice forwards, right? Jarvis is a really good forward. Aho's really good. Svechnikov's really good. But Panarin,
does he fit them though?
You can make the case. It's exactly what they need. I mean, this is a team that's a perennial. They're always the favorite to come out of the East and win the Cup. They have not been able to get out of the second round because they're always short a goal.
But what's the knock
I'm not
on
in love
him?
with their goaltending either.
Isn't the knock on him in the playoffs? He doesn't really like, to go in the dirty areas.
He's an East-West player instead of North-South. But he on special teams, big power play.
Sure.
Listen, Carolina's got a team that can give them some room, right? They've got some big boys that can get them some room.
Fair point.
But what's really failed Carolina has been can they get the goaltending in the postseason, and can they get those goals when they need them? But they've got some really good veterans. They win faceoffs. So Jordan Stahl's still there, still a really good player. They really aren't missing anything. They're a really good, complete team and very well coached.
Yes.
Maybe they need a little bit of a spark plug that kind of goes against the grain a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody that can kind of create something offensively.
Yeah, I mean, again, what you said makes a lot of sense, too. Well, we don't need him to go in the dirty areas. We've got plenty of guys to do that. We need him to be in the places that put the puck in the net. That's what we need. So maybe that's the thinking, but it's definitely something to watch.
Well, the good news for Carolina, they can't beat the Rangers on a bet. They're not going to have to worry about the Rangers in this postseason. So.
That's a good point. Let's do one more game time, brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because, Donnie, when it's game time...
It's Tully time.
Sure is, baby. Rangers and Islanders, speaking of them, they'll run it back again tonight after an Islanders 5-2 win last night at UBS. They're at MSG tonight for a rematch. Coverage immediately following us right here on 880 a.m. at 6:30, right after ENN. The Devils, that's why Donnie's at the Rock. That's why you hear that wonderful organ playing. That's so hockey, isn't it, when you're hearing the organ in the rink?
Yeah, to me that's definitely hockey.
That's so hockey. Devils and the Predators from Nashville tonight. That's at 7 on MSG as well. And the Nets, they are in Denver to visit the Nuggets at 9. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
We need a Palat type of debut from Siplikov tonight for the Devils.
That's a good point.
Right, goal and an assist, that would be very nice.
Just getting something right out of the gate. He was good last year. He was good. He just couldn't find it. I don't know what.
Well, he's got 2 points in 27 games.
Yeah,
so
I don't. It's very strange from year to year with some of these guys, but that's the story of why you get bounced around. The consistency isn't there. But you're right. That's what you always want to do. You want to make a trade and have that guy immediately hit. He could go scoreless. Palat could go scoreless now for the next 2 weeks. Doesn't matter. You'll always remember his first game. He did something, and it makes the trade immediately feel like it was the right thing to do. You know what the right thing to do is right now, Don?
Little ENN?
Little ENN next with Anthony Pusick. So stay with us. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This Saturday on the Gary Myers Show, new Giants head coach John Harbaugh joins the show at 1 p.m. to talk about how he's going to turn around Big Blue. Gary will also preview Super Bowl 60 with Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. It's all this Saturday at noon with Gary Myers on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night. Get home safe and quick. Rangers are hosting the Islanders at MSG. Definitely your best bet into Midtown. Stick with mass transit. Otherwise, avoid the east side of town. FDR just packed both up and down, heading over to the 59th Street Bridge. Disney on Ice at the Barclays in Brooklyn. Crawling on the BQE, heading over to Atlantic Avenue. Westbound, not moving much there from the LIE. Big concert at the UBS Arena, packed on the Cross Island southbound, heading over to Hempstead Turnpike from the Throgs Neck Bridge. Still your worst ride to the outbound George Deegan southbound. Crash in the West 230s. You're backed up onto southbound 87 in Yonkers. Inbound George about 15 to 20 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln already about 15 to 20. Outbound Holland close to a half hour. Devils are home tonight at the Rock in Newark. Not moving at all on 21 between 280 and 78. A couple of crashes getting through that stretch. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Life is full of choices, some big, some small.
And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your 6 figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year 1 needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, we've seen it all, and we're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box. Get started at hrblock.com.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting...
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Well, yes, it is that time for ENN, and it is brought to you by Ramsey Mazda, and it is presented by the lovely and talented Anthony Pusick.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Alan. Hi, Don. We had Peter for 2 hours today. We'll have him 2 hours tomorrow in Riyadh, of course, for the Royal Rumble, which you'll see on ESPN Unlimited this Saturday at 2 p.m. And with that, I'll say good evening to Don.
Don looks awful, and his takes are even worse.
Third person Don.
Why would you? Why? Why would you say that about yourself?
I'm not saying it. They're saying it.
No, they're not saying. Who are these people?
They're saying it with their silence.
I'm going to need a name.
I'm now going to make the case for you aggressively.
Stumping.
Yeah, when
You're
the
gonna
hockey
basically-
season gets going.
You're gonna,
You know what?
You're going to
When
be living
basketball
there.
season
soon.
gets going. How dare you?
You're going to be living there soon, Alan, so you might as well.
You know what? Honestly, is that room, that family room that we have in the studio, does that have a bed or something, a cot?
It does not.
I'm going to need a place to take naps.
We can Amazon one quick. That should be easy enough.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about that little boutique hotel over by the river, of the East River, anymore, right?
No.
Oh, that was a great hotel, though, Don.
We have the
Sleeping on
Dominic.
the couch at ESPN.
We have the Dominic next to us. It's very nice.
The Dominic's nice.
It is.
Dominic, yeah,
Adam
that's where
Sandler stays at the Dominic.
That's apparently where they put us. So, yeah.
Can't be late to the show then, Alan. Not that you ever are, but that would be.
That Seaport Hotel was special. Good memories.
Speaking of, good evening to Alan.
Don said he has a big one.
Yeah.
Which it's always good to brag about.
just subtly, you could hear Peter in the back.
Don said he has a big one.
Yeah.
Which it's always good to brag about.
Peter was disgusted.
He's like, okay.
Listen, I can only go by what you say, Don. I trust you.
And, hey, we got one from Michael.
Use that big, fat, long head of yours.
Oh. It was self-deprecation day at the station, clearly.
What was that in reference
Yeah.
to?
Well, it was in reference of his actual head.
The size of Michael's.
Listen, again. Wow.
It all worked out. It all fit together really, really well.
It really does, doesn't it?
I look forward to seeing what Alan's going to look like when we say goodbye to Don at 6:15. And if we're going to get like half of an Allen head or like an ear. I
from
do
the screen?
from the air link, yeah. I do look.
This'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to look like.
Right. Fun with broadcasting.
So, a lot of the coaches over the last couple of days have been introduced, head coaches, and one of them is our good friend, former Jets head coach and Niners defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. Now, we remember all gas, no brakes. That was the big takeaway from the opening press conference when he was a Jet. So, Robert, how do you want this Titans team to play?
Fast and violent, man. Play in and play out. We're going to play with speed. We're going to play confident. We're going to have some swag. Talk a little But I want them to show who they are. Play in and play out. And like I said, the one thing that you'll notice is the speed at which we play and the violence at which we do it.
Hard and fast, not all gas, no brake.
They can't help themselves, right? They whatever.
They're from the same family. All gas, no brake, and hard and fast.
But you Don's right though. He didn't learn from the first time. You're taking over a bad team. We're gonna play with swag. We're gonna talk some smack. Like, hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get organized. We're gonna play hard. We're gonna do our best, and we'll just keep
that's
doing
it. We're gonna play football. We're gonna do the best we can. Let's see what we can do here.
He did not learn.
Oh well, it's interesting you say that, Alan. Coach, what did you learn being the head coach of the Jets?
There's no handbook to a first time at anything you do, And what I would say, the proper question would be, what didn't I learn? There's so much to gain from any time you're in the chair as a head coach, and there's so many learning experiences that I had. So I can sit here and talk to you for the next 4 hours about all those different things, but I can assure you that there was tremendous growth through the opportunity that I had with the Jets, and through that growth, I think I'm more prepared now than I've ever been to attack this position.
He's so well spoken. He presents so well, doesn't he, Don? Like, it's just though we all sit here just shaking our head, going, "Yeah, we've heard this."
And I guess what his angle is that it was such a disaster that what didn't I learn? Because everything went wrong. Right?
I learned everything.
But you're going to get that question. And if I was the PR director of the Titans, I'd say, give a couple of examples so people can kind of sink their teeth into. And one of them that I think he's going to have to learn is you can't – the biggest mistake I thought he made was the benching of Wilson. And then who was the quarterback they brought in, the backup, and everybody was in love with
Mike White.
Mike White, and they're wearing the
shirt.
Mike White T-shirts. Like, you can't – you're not a player. I mean, and that's the one thing I would tell him is that you are not, jogging up the stairs before the game, all gas, no brake, all pumped up. You are a coach. You're a CEO of this team, all right? You're not a player. As much as you get along with the players, you can't listen, Zach Wilson was certainly losable because he was not a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But you lost him for sure when you're wearing that shirt. Like, you allowed yourself to get swayed by the room. You can't allow yourself to do that. You've got to be bigger than that, And I thought, and he tried too hard to get everybody to like him, including the players. You're going to have to get people to not like you. You're going to have to get the players to not like you, disagree, because at the end of the day, you're the boss, you're the CEO, it's your way or the highway, forever as long as you have the job. You start trying to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody, and end up losing games and losing the team.
Now,
he's a good coach. We know he's a good coach, at least on the defensive side of the ball. So do that.
Again, perfect segue. And you guys don't even know this. This isn't even planned.
No.
Now, one of the things that attracted the Jets to Robert Saleh was, yes, he was that rah-rah guy on the sidelines, but he was that rah-rah guy on the sidelines when he was first with San Francisco calling defensive plays.
Right.
And we found out today, he will be calling plays for the Tennessee Titans on defense. And he was asked why.
I didn't call plays in New York, and I just kind of gave it all to the coordinators. Even though we were still part of the game planning and all that, I joked with Borgo on game day when I didn't call plays. I felt like I was just a timeout and red flag guy. I had the greatest seat in the house as a fan, So calling plays for me, it's not necessarily about control, but it's about connecting with the players. When you are a play caller and you are calling plays, you feel the strain that you're putting on them with each call. You're feeling the connection. You're feeling what each one is going through. And again, like I said, I can feel the weight of the play call on individual players in those moments. And to be able to call plays and maintain that connection, maintain that feel for what the players are going through, I think is very, very important from my seat. And it's just one of the many things that'll change throughout my tenure.
Sure, I love hearing. I'm not sure I loved hearing that when I wasn't calling plays, I felt like as a head coach I had the best seat in the house as a fan.
Yeah, you're disconnected from what you're actually supposed to do. There's other things to do.
I was the timeout and red flag guy.
Yeah, he didn't know what else to do because he certainly doesn't know enough about offense to be involved in the offensive decision. He's got it in his headset. He knew what plays were being called. How are you not? Right? Like he is the last one that signs off on the play before it gets sent in. No, he's hearing the conversation.
Right. Now, play calling on defense is not offense, okay? It's not the same number of plays. So I'm not saying it's not complicated, but I think it's probably a lot easier to do as a head coach than calling plays on the offensive side of the ball. But part of being a CEO, you got to be in control of everything.
Yeah.
So that was always Rex's problem. He had the defense figured out. Well, the offense is pretty important. It's still an offensive league. You still got to score points in this league. You got a good young quarterback. You got to make sure that you're on the same page with him. But I'm with Anthony. Like when you say I felt like I was just a fan because I wasn't calling plays. Well, there's other responsibilities as a head coach that you've got to be aware of what's going on. And all right, you weren't calling the plays defensively, but you had the last say. Are we going for it on fourth down, Coach? What are we doing on third down? Are we going for it on fourth down? That's going to affect on what we're going to do on third down.
You should be one step ahead as the head coach. Let the DC worry about right now. You worry about what's coming next. You pay attention to what's going on across the field from you and what are they doing. You should be thinking about, okay, when we get this stop here, what do I want to do offensively, and start already chattering with the offensive coordinator about special teams. Like, that's the whole idea of being the CEO. When you're a head coach who's in full control of what's happening out there, you know every single facet of your team, and you understand what each coach wants to do, and you want to have a say in it, which is what made Belichick so great, which is what made what makes Harbaugh so good, Tomlin so good. These guys are very much in tune with all the things happening to a point where when things go wrong at the end of the game, who's the one that takes the accountability?
Yeah, exactly.
The head coach does. Why? Because I'm the one that also – I heard the play call. I went with it.
Now, that is reflective for him in realizing that was a problem. I do think there's a possibility that both Saleh and Dable look very, very good in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And we'll all say, how did it not happen here? It's a possibility. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it all depends on Cam Ward, really.
Yeah, well, that's it, right?
Well, that's it, yeah.
What he's going to develop into and having the talent on the field.
And that's Brian Dable.
Can you imagine? Could you imagine?
Brian Dable might be looking over at Saleh at times going like, I'm going to have this job in a couple of months.
Can you imagine after week one, it's like, oh, this is the quarterback I always wanted. I don't know what everybody else is talking about. Wait a minute.
It is true.
It is true. He did want him for sure. But listen, head coaching is really hard. And listen, you need good coordinators, and the nuts and bolts are going to be done by the coordinators. A lot of games are won by what the coordinators do, but the head coach has to be involved, has to have the final say, has to, if not know all of the inner workings, have at least a working knowledge and be involved in it. Just can't be a defensive guy, worry about the defense, and by the way, Dable's got the offense. I don't have to worry about that. Well, so what are we saying? When the offense has the ball, you're just just watching the game as a fan? That's not what I want out of my head coach. He's got to be working, man, and doing all the things necessary.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Look, we all say he's a good guy as far as Saleh goes. It's a job that'll have less intensity on it coverage-wise. They have a new stadium. You see it?
No, I have not seen it.
Not next year, but the 27, I think it'll be done. Pretty impressive. It's
beautiful. We can guarantee one thing.
It'll be better than MetLife?
Everything is better than MetLife.
Everything is better than MetLife.
Connor Hughes was on our radio station earlier today, fellas, with Barton Carlin.
Okay.
He talked to the guys about the Wink Martindale situation and where things fell apart with the Jets.
From talking to sources close to Martindale, this was one of those things where in all previous conversations with Aaron Glenn, at no point was it given any indication other than this was going to be Wink's show, and Wink was going to be defensive coordinator. It was going to be his scheme. He was going to be calling the plays and all that stuff. It was going to be a normal defensive coordinator job. When Wink showed up that Saturday for the in-person interview, that was the first time that he was informed that Aaron Glenn planned on calling plays, and Aaron Glenn had a desire to call plays. But Wink is not a first-time coordinator. He's not somebody who's a flushed aside or anything like that. I mean, this is a guy who has done it at a pretty high level for a very long time. He knows how to call plays, and it was just never going to work to have him not be the primary defensive play caller. So that's
no better time for you to leave, right, Don?
Yeah, but just let me just.
You could have played that out. You could have played that one out.
Come on, do you buy my theory now? So Aaron Glenn talked to him, and it never came up, am I going to call plays? Or does it make more sense that somebody else was recruiting him, and then when he finally had a chance to meet Glenn, Glenn said, oh, by the way, I'm calling plays. You think Glenn is that bad of a guy that he would hide it from him until he showed up?
No, I don't think that.
Come on, man.
Why?
Whoa.
Oh, that was a big concern, Don. What happened there?
I don't know, but I'm going to say goodbye. I'm doing the Devils.
I don't know.
Let me know how this all turns out.
All right, Don.
All right, and hopefully we'll be back with you tomorrow at 3.
Yeah, sounds good, Donnie. See you later. That is Don LaGreca. He will be on the call of Devils and Predators. You'll catch that on MSG. Alan, we lost.
No, I'm back.
He's back because
I was just losing it to a point where I think I kicked a plug out.
The Jets cut him off.
Bye, Donnie.
So Alan, I'm very.
I cannot believe that. Like, again, I'm not questioning Connor.
No.
That just sounds like there's no way it went down like that.
Well, there's one. We have more.
Oh, good.
Connor from Barton Carlin. and maybe this will clarify things, and I wish Don were here for it, but we had fun today. What led to Glenn saying that he wanted to call plays?
There's things that are floating out there about, was it higher-ups that were putting it down on Aaron Glenn? Was it Aaron Glenn just deciding that I want to go down, and if I'm going down with my ship, I'm going to go down with my ship? I mean, you hear a couple things that say one and a couple things that say the other, and you know, I don't want to be the one that puts out there one and have it be the wrong one until I can get it finalized as this is what's the reason. But here's what I can tell you is that when Robert Saleh was the Jets head coach his first year and things went really, really south, like for Robert early on, like that first year, there was a push from those above to have Robert call the defense in year two, and they wanted Robert Saleh to call the defense in year two. Robert fended it off, said, no, I trust Brick, just let me get my guys in here, let's get some players, and you'll see it turn around. And it did turn around. Like, Jeff Ulbrich, you know, when he was named interim head coach, that was for a reason. Like, he deserved that label. It didn't work, but he deserved that label.
That makes that other Saleh cut
this is now
so much more interesting.
Wait, let's just enough. Like, enough.
It's the same thing.
That now brings the whole thing together.
We're doing it again.
It's so incredible.
We're doing this again.
It's incredible.
Bad first season. DC becomes head coach, doesn't call his plays.
We want you to call your plays.
And let's be clear.
He says no. How did that work out? So this time around, Woody, and we all know it's Woody, says to Glenn, you know, Robert regrets not calling plays. I think you need to do that. And now Glenn's like, all right, well, Wink.
Can we get Don back? Can we delay the Devil game for like 2030? I want Don back.
All right, footnote, we're playing this back tomorrow.
We
have to.
It's like, not even – you don't even have to change. Now, granted, again, as Connor said, we don't know about the second part, about the Aaron Glenn part. Now, we know Glenn wants to call plays now, and we wondered what changed. The only thing we know for sure is Connor said there was a request from above when Saleh was the coach after a failed first season.
You can't make this up, man.
We would like it if you called plays, and Saleh said, I trust my guys, which honorable for him. Probably ended up costing him in the end, but Jeff Ulbricht's doing a fine job in Atlanta. That is all the more reason to say this has got to be coming from above. Because I don't think Aaron Glenn strings along Wink Martindale all the way to get him on a flight on a Saturday to New Jersey.
That's why I
in a blizzard.
It doesn't make sense that it went down like that. But now that you see, look at you too. The way you set up ENN today. You have a gift.
There's something up here.
No, you.
It's hollow, but there's something up here.
You. This is really like.
Oh man, we're bringing it back tomorrow. We'll bring it back for Donnie because he didn't hear this.
There's so much more to this.
He didn't hear it. All right, we'll get into more of this tomorrow. We still have a little bit of time at ENN. Let's get to a couple more stories here.
All right.
Mike Vrabel, we're starting to do the yo-yo everyday press conferences for the Seahawks and Patriots, where to the point by the Wednesday we're going to be like, what's your favorite color? But we did have something good from a former Bill Belichick player. You would think that Coach Vrabel has some things to say. Robert Kraft vehemently defended the fact that Bill should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Tom Brady saying that Bill should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Mike Vrabel, what are your thoughts on Bill not getting in?
I'm sure Bill will get in. I can't, again, that's something that's well out of my control, and I know that the time here with Bill were 8 great years, and the teammates and everybody else that we had, and I'm sure that Bill will get into Canton.
The role of Bill Belichick being played by Mike Vrabel. No emotion at all?
No.
I'm sure Bill will get in. Well, no one thinks he's not getting in.
Well,
the question was, why didn't he get in now?
Yeah, it's out of my realm right now. I've got a game to prepare for.
It would have been better if he said that.
It's on to Santa Clara.
It's just weird.
No, but what's he going to do at that point? Do you really think
Bill
it's
should
on
be a
his
first
radar?
ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, well, he said that. But I get this though. It's probably not on his radar.
I guess
that's all, and he's just leaving it there.
I guess.
Like, yeah, he's a Hall of whatever. I gotta, guys. I'm trying to win a Super Bowl here.
It was a little weird. I thought it was a little weird.
Yeah, boy, that. I'm sorry. I'm still reeling. I'm still what you did there is diabolical, and I love it.
Oh, good stuff.
Play
for tomorrow.
Saleh first, and then play.
Peter doesn't even know what's coming.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we're opening with this. I don't care if Giannis gets traded tonight.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know. We're about still. That. I'll give you if Panarin gets traded, we're leading with the Connor Hughes stuff. How about that?
If Panarin gets traded to the Islanders, we're leading with that.
I heard that the third team that the Knicks are trying to get in is the Rangers.
Yes.
And somehow Panarin is going to be a Milwaukee Buck for a couple of games. And somehow Giannis will play goalie for the Rangers.
Yeah.
I don't know how because apparently that is not as strenuous on the calf. Obviously a lie. Anyway.
Don't tell Giannis he can't play goalie.
Speaking of injured stars, Alan, I wonder how you feel about this.
What?
Jason Tatum told ESPN last night he hasn't made a decision about whether or not he's going to return from his torn Achilles tendon this season because he wants to, quote, wants to get it right the first time, so it's just a lot to think about. You said yes, he does. What do you think, Alan?
Well, you tell me what I've said all along about this story, which started...
It's always kind of been pie in the sky that this was going to happen.
I get it. It's you want to always have optimism, and every time, like the first time they showed him shooting a basketball standing, they're like, "It's only 6 weeks in surgery." It's like, yeah, we know. It's the same thing. Remember when Aaron Rodgers tried to, try to make this case that he was going to come back faster than anybody else? We all want to do this because we all need the why, and I think Tatum needed a why. You know, like this, it's not easy. You're away from your team for a whole year. You set this silly goal of coming back sooner than you think or within a year. We all know the playoffs are a different animal. We all know it takes a player a good week to 6 weeks. Again, watch Rodgers in his second year with the Jets.
Look better.
It took him a long time, but by the end of the season, it started to click. But he needed those first couple of months, right?
Yeah.
So with Tatum, it's the same thing. And God bless him. He's young and he's in his prime. The last thing you want to do as an organization is to have him is to put it in his head that he should be on the floor, that the team expects him to be there. No.
Why now?
It doesn't make sense. But it's a fun story, and they want to look. They're the Celtics are better than everybody thought they'd be, and they're fight. And Joe Mazzulla should be coach of the year. But this notion that look out. The Celtics are going to add Jason Tatum as if it's going to be Jason Tatum with 82 games under his belt. That doesn't make sense. So, no, I never expected it. I don't expect it. It would be stupid if he tried it. We'll see you next season, and he'll be fully healthy when he comes back.
I guess my thing was I was confused why now was my question of like, and maybe ESPN asked him. I don't know. But, like, why bring this up now?
Oh, because he's been in practice. They've seen him in practice.
Okay.
And so when the media comes out, he's out there with the team.
So they're like,
and everybody's, is he getting closer? And players like to tease stuff. They like to mess with the media. And then there's always the speculation. So it's getting asked, and he finally had to be smart and say, well, I got to make sure I'm right. Because he's got to know physically that calf, it atrophied. It takes forever for you to get that all back. And what you don't want to do is have one leg weaker than the other, and now all of a sudden you're battling the attrition of this leg now has more injuries to it. And no, he wants to be fully healthy for next season, and that's what he should be versus forcing your way to come back, having nagging injuries, not being close to being yourself in the playoffs when it matters most. Because I'll say one more thing. If I'm playing the Celtics and he's out on the floor, I'm putting him on an island. I'm going at him every single time because I know what he can't do, which is slide his feet, back step, and defend. No chance.
Alan, that is going to do it for ENN tonight.
Well done. I think this is one of your best. I think this deserves a Marconi nomination.
Oh, thank you.
Because that was a wonderful setup by you. Strategic and diabolical, and I loved it. And this should be something as we end the show with, we should begin the show with tomorrow. Rangers, Islanders, Rangers hockey coming up next. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
A child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated